Hello and welcome to Alumni Field, another presentation of WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan softball. I'm Alex Drain, joined by Jeremy Parks for the first game of the winner's bracket in the Ann Arbor Regional between the Michigan Wolverines and the James Madison Dukes. The Wolverines defeated St. Francis yesterday by a score of 8-0, while James Madison defeated DePaul 5-2 to set up the matchup we've all been waiting for, which is Michigan and James Madison, a rematch of a game that took place at the Arizona State Invitational back in early March. James Madison claimed that one 3-0 in extra innings, a game that went beyond the normal 7. And so it's a lot on the line here today.
Absolutely. This is really fighting for the fact that you will not have to win out the rest of the day. The winner of this game gets to go home and rest for the duration and come back tomorrow. So that's a big win for either side if they're able to pull this one out. But James Madison's going to be working on a pair of fresh arms. They had Odyssey Alexander and Megan Good split the game yesterday, 5 innings and 2. Good will get the start here in the morning game for James Madison, and Michigan will be rolling right back with went efficiently, but almost all the way through yesterday.
Yeah, Megan Bobian pitched 5 innings yesterday, very sharp, only 2 hits given up in 5 scoreless innings, then was relieved by Alex Starocco in an attempt to get both pitchers in the game. And this is interesting because neither of these pitchers, Megan Good or Megan Bobian, have actually seen these teams, as the first matchup was the Odyssey Alexander and Alex Starocco duel. And so we were wondering during the week whether either team would start their number 2s, given that both had good success against each other's lineups, but instead they're rolling with their aces. We can take a look at the lineups. James Madison rolls out a really good array of hitters, starting with Hannah File, followed by Kate Gordon, then the pitcher Megan Good, who also is a very good hitter, followed by Odyssey Alexander, then Logan Newton, Sarah Jubis, Kirsten Roadcap, Cambry Arnold, and Madison Nayokis. Hannah Shiflett will play first base, but Odyssey Alexander is the DP and will be hitting in place of her. And then in the circle, of course, Megan Good. For Michigan, it's the usual, except one change due to continued injury issues. It'll be Faith Canfield, Natalie Peters, Lexi Blair, Alex Subject, Madison Uden, Mac Nemitz, followed by Hannah Carson, who is the starting catcher today after the injury Katie Alexander sustained in yesterday's game against St. Francis. Carson came in the bottom of the second, if I remember correctly. She had 3 at-bats, was very, very strong with 2 hits, including an RBI double. She'll get the start today, followed by Hoganrod and Rodriguez.
Yep, Katie came out with a heavy brace on that right knee this morning. Is still in full dress, but with the brace on the right knee, so we'll monitor that throughout the game, but it looks like Carson will be the go-to for the duration. Perhaps just playing the protective game, but it still, again, does look like, if needed, she probably could go out there as she is fully dressed. But Carson had herself a day at the plate yesterday, getting on base 3 out of 3 at-bats. Adder didn't have a single at-bat in yesterday's game. As Bobian is having a conversation with Carson, we're just waiting for the okay to throw the first pitch. These games are on the ESPN family of networks, so we are subject to the commercial breaks. Here on your non-commercial student radio, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network, WCBN Sports.
Defense is also, as usual, for Michigan, left to right in the infield. Uden at third, Rodriguez at short, Canfield at second, and Subject at first in the outfield. Blair, Peters, and Hoganrod with Carson behind the plate. The big storyline when you face James Madison, you have to keep the ball in the ballpark. The Dukes thrive on the long ball. That's how they get their offense. If you can shut off the home run, you can keep them pretty quiet, which is what Alex Starocco was able to do very well back in. Team hit 5 homers in a game twice, including once against Tennessee early in the season.
They had 2 yesterday coming off of Gordon and Jubis, their 2 highest home run hitters. something to watch for here throughout the game. James Madison coming in so good on paper, ranked first in scoring, second in on-base percentage, second in slugging, batting average, third in home runs per game, looking at sixth in ERA. A team that rolled through the CAA tournament. They run-ruled all 3 games, beating Elon twice to win the championship.
Well, they're in a very weak conference, which is why they have to load up their non-conference, and they did just that. They played 9 RPI top 50 teams in the non-conference to try and supplement the amount of 100 to 200 range teams they play in conference games. And they went 4-5 against RPI top 50, 3-5 outside of the game against Michigan. They played a handful of teams Michigan saw, though, including Arizona and Minnesota, who they succumbed to. Michigan went 1-1 against those 2 teams. You look at the power for James Madison, they have 5 players in double figures in the home run column, including 19 for Gordon.
And we are almost set to get underway here, as File is ready to step into the batter's box. We're just awaiting the okay from your home plate umpire, Katrina Kershaw. The rest of the umpiring crew from right to left, Tyler Barfus, Calvin Walker, and Chris Tahanika, first to third.
So Hannah Files digs in, the righty hitter against the lefty Megan Bobian, and here we go. The winner's bracket is underway. First pitch down and outside from Bobian.
Yesterday's game went 0 for 2, got on via the walk and was scored.
.1-0 on its way. Just a tad high.
Something to watch out for early in the game from Megan Bobian. It was working really well for her yesterday, climbing the ladder on those St. Francis hitters. They couldn't seem to catch up when she went high towards the upper end of the zone.
2-0 on its way. There's a called strike.
Always able to lean back on the fastball after she gets down in the count.
It's about 6 rows of James Madison fans right in front of us, and that's about it. A couple purple shirts elsewhere, but that's where the bulk of them are. But they are going to be very vocal, so you might hear them in the background. And there's a pitch just outside. Looked like a good one.
Yep. They've got the field again today. They had a big tailgate going in the parking lot when I pulled in here at about 10:45.
So 3-1 on File. Bobian has to be careful here. File has 8 home runs on the season. That pitch is a little inside, ball 4. Didn't look like bad pitches.
5-pitch walk to open the game. And again, this is something that we talked about a little bit on yesterday's broadcast with how it will look, kind of working that relationship between Bobian, Starocco, and Hannah Carson. Being able to know where those pitches are coming and Carson's ability to try and frame the tight edges.
First pitch by Gordon is straight away at center field. I mean, right at Natalie Peters, who's under it for an easy out. Not very hard contact there, just a soft fly to straightaway center.
Yeah, I didn't get a full swing really through that one and got a little underneath it and just poked it right out to Peters.
So that brings up Megan Good, who is the pitcher in the game, but also a very dangerous hitter, the 2017 National Player of the Year. And that one just outside, I guess. Looks to be a tight strike zone today from Katrina Kershaw.
Yeah, particularly on that outside edge. She's been a little tight here in the first 2 at-bats that have been extended.
And that could be an issue for Bobian, who does love that outside edge, generally speaking. We'll see if she can bring it back in and find it with more consistency. 1-0 to Good is fouled back. Good was named the National Player of the Year as a junior largely because of her ability to do both pitching and hitting well. Her senior season was meant to be last year, but she sustained a season-ending knee injury in off-season workouts and obtained the NCAA to come back this year. That pitch backs her out of there a little bit. 2-1 now.
She was just 1 for 2 yesterday against DePaul. She got a walk and a single.
2-1 on Good. And that one, I guess, a little down and in. Good's doing a good job of selling that. Has been backing out whenever the pitch rides in. So Beaubien in a 3-1 count. Again, you have to be careful here. And there's a strike. She did it again and didn't get the call that time. Everything inside, she is going to be diving out of there.
She's got that good, like, slight sell where she tries to tweak just a little bit inside to try and sell that ball a little further off the plate than it comes.
So a full count on Good. We'll see what Beaubien goes to here. 3-2 pitch, swung in a high fly ball into shallow right field. Moving on is Hoganrod, and she makes the easy play, 2 outs. Some soft contact to the outfield early on.
Haley's got the shades on out in right field, even though we don't have really any sunshine here in Ann Arbor. Again, cloud cover throughout the area. We aren't expecting any rain. We short 20-minute or so rain delay yesterday.
So here's Odyssey Alexander, who is also a pitcher who can also hit, but she's the designated player today. And there's a called strike. This is a very rowdy crowd.
Yeah, you got to think that the rowdiness of James Madison has kind of spurred on the Michigan fans who throughout yesterday they had a lot to cheer for, but it never really got that loud.
There wasn't a whole lot of reason. It was never really a competitive game. 0-1 on Alexander. She takes it a little high. Alexander got the start against Alex Storako in the earlier meeting of these two teams. She was very strong in that one, which has been a bit of a pace compared to her performances against other top teams. Has generally struggled in those big moments. It's why Good has been the go-to ace. But Alexander's bat is so valuable for the Dukes. That pitch a little low. A .357 average and 14 home runs. So runner on first, 2 outs in the inning. A 2-1 count to Odyssey Alexander. The pitch swung on and fouled back.
Beaubien had 6 strikeouts yesterday through her 5 innings of work, before giving way to Storako, who finished it up with just 1 inning in a 6-inning run rule 8-0 win.
2-2 on its way, swinging another foul. Good battle right now.
Beaubien will consult the wristband to get the pitch. See if Carson sets up maybe a hair inside.
2-2, swing and a miss. Check swing, got her. Beaubien went to the changeup, and Odyssey Alexander had no answer for that one.
And instead of going inside with the changeup, Hannah Carson took that half step over to the right to move outside and froze up Alexander to end the inning.
Leadoff walk and 1 left. No hits, though. James Madison scoreless heading to the bottom of the first against Michigan, and now is our first chance to see the Wolverine offense that has been just clicking wild abandon recently, putting up another 8-run performance yesterday against St. Francis.
You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
And generally speaking, at least this season, for James Madison in those games against RPI Top 50, their hitting has generally come through. The pitching has been a bit of a struggle in those big games. We'll see how Megan Good can do here today.
Yeah, we did that breakdown on the East of the Rockies podcast earlier this week, looking at, again, we mentioned at the start of the broadcast those numbers on paper and how good they are in categorical leads throughout the NCAA, and really how that was bolstered by the fact that it just played absolutely nobody in conference that could give them a challenge. And those numbers in their RPI Top 50 games were nowhere near as good. However, they played well against DePaul yesterday, a decent team. Probably seen as the 3rd out of 4 teams here.
I don't think anyone's doubting James Madison is one of the 20 best teams. It just happens to be that because of those conference opponents, their stats look like they're the best team in the country, ranking in the top 5 in every category, and that's not quite the case.
Well, you interviewed Hutch this week, and she said, too, that she really thought for a minute on Selection Sunday that the Wolverines might be headed to Harrisonburg. She thought that James Madison had a really good opportunity to host and was very deserving of hosting a regional, but...
Well, it was certainly a chance because after that 14th regional got unveiled, the only teams left that could feasibly host were Michigan, Northwestern, and James Madison. And so Northwestern was never going to come here as a conference opponent. So basically it was always going to be Michigan and James Madison most likely paired together. It just was a question of which order it would be in, and they gave the nod to a Big Ten conference that the committee seemed to like very much this year, giving Minnesota a 7 seed and Northwestern a 16. Both teams won their first games yesterday. Northwestern in appalling fashion. Minnesota's regional is a rather tricky one. They had to play the Bison of North Dakota State.
We'll see how Faith Canfield leads it off here for the Wolverines. She was 2 for 2 yesterday, had a double and a solo home run in the 3rd and 6th. She did come around to score on that double that she had in the 3rd as well, so accounted for 2 of the Wolverines' 8 runs.
So first pitch fouled back. Michigan has yet to see Megan Good this season. We'll see how they attack. 0-1, Canfield fouls that one back. Michigan was very aggressive early on yesterday against St. Francis. Took them a couple innings to finally convert. Canfield looks like she is up and ready to swing.
Well, they were making hard contact early against Bauer, the starter for St. Francis, but a team that is not nearly as good really doesn't hold a candle to James Madison in the circle.
0-2, swing and a miss. Canfield, 3 swings, and she goes down on strikes. Going to talk quickly to Natalie Peters. That was only the 13th strikeout of the year for Canfield. She really doesn't look like that very often, but an aggressive start to this game for Faith. And they'll bring up Peters. Peters had a good game yesterday, as did really the whole top of the order for Michigan. Peters runs up and takes it for a called strike.
Pounding the zone early. The only pitch out of the strike zone so far was that climbing the ladder on the strike 3 to Canfield.
Oh, 1 to Peters, takes that one a little high.
Perhaps a hair outside there as well, as it'll be Roadcap working the back end of the battery.
1-1 count. Peters knocks that one right into her own dugout.
Just about took out Alex Subject standing on the top step there.
It was a sort of a half swing.
Yep.
And it just got poked the opposite way. First and third base pulled in slightly, about 1 or 2 steps inside the bag. Short and second playing straight up. On the slapper Peters, 1-2, she just gets a piece on one over her head.
Yeah, very high, and again, not a pitch to be swinging at, but the tomahawk chop just gets a little slice to stay alive.
And it seems like Good is going to be going to that rise ball quite a bit. Peters' .361 average with 1 homer on the year entering this game. Only 7 strikeouts on the season for her. She swings, pops that one up, arcing, and it'll get out of play. .460 on base, .470 slugging for .930 OPS.
Standing all the way with her back foot on the back chalk of the box.
1-2, another chop right in front of home plate. Going to be a tough play, not in time. And Peters is at first. Ball got away from Shiflett, but she didn't recognize it in time, so Peters will just stay at first with an infield single.
Bonnie Thole really wanted her head up there to go. It would have been a close play because charging over from right to get the ball was Newton, so it seemed from this angle that it was probably a good decision to hold at first base.
Michigan has the first hit of the game. Wasn't much contact, just a small chop in front of home plate that Roadcap had to field. And even with the wild throw, Peters had beaten it out. So Lexi Blair stands at the plate and takes a ball high. Peters stands down there at first. She's 14 for 15 this year in stolen bases. Be interesting to see if they test the arm of Kirsten Roadcap. 1-0 on its way. That one gets away from Roadcap, and Peters will get down to second on the wild pitch. And Michigan with the runner in scoring position and only one out in the bottom of the first.
And this may be a big thing to watch for throughout this game, trying to take advantage of mistakes for either side. As these are two very good pitchers starting the game in the form of Beaubien and Good, and runs may be difficult to come by. So for Michigan, taking advantage of an awkward infield chop single and a pass ball to get their first runner in scoring position today.
Well, Lexi Blair, a .425 hitter in a 2-0 count. A well-placed single could give Michigan an early lead. 2 on its way, Lexi fouls it back.
Late swing there from Lexi, decided just a couple seconds too late that she wanted to go.
Looked like the rise ball again from Good, continuing to climb the ladder there. Michigan hasn't lined one up yet. 2-1, Lexi lines that one to second. Going to be a quick play over to first, but moving on down to third is Natalie Peters. A productive out for Blair, and that'll bring up Subject. That was a first solid contact. Subject in the midst of a long cold spell, trying to break out of it here. First pitch is inside. James Madison fans not happy about that, but certainly doesn't look any different than the calls that Beaubien also was not getting. (1-0), Subject fouls it back.
Hutch down in her usual box over at third, signaling to her legs for Subject to keep squatted down in her stance.
(1-1) on its way. Subject swings and fouls it back. You have to think with the amount of rise balls that have been thrown, there is the chance for another wild pitch. Peters has to be ready to scamper on home. In a 1-2 count, Subject has had a lot of swings and misses recently.
And that was the put-away pitch that Good went to on Canfield to open up the inning, so a definite option here in a 1-2 count.
(1-2) on its way. That one, oh, what a grab by Kirsten Roadcap to get way out of the crouch and save a run there. That thing was about 5 feet wide of home plate.
It also seemed to be about the fastest pitch that Good has thrown so far here in the first inning. That one dragged her arm all the way back with her body.
Fabulous save there. 2-2 coming, and Subject fouls it back.
Good job to battle here by Subject. Getting close to a 20-pitch inning here to open up for Megan Good.
That's what you want to see, make her work.
Yeah, still fresh after only throwing 2 innings yesterday.
Good spins the ball. 2-2 on its way. That one's down in the zone. Good take by Subject to work this count.
As the wind is picking up here at Alumni, blowing from right to left out in the center field area.
So the count is full.
A lot of noise here.
Good spins the ball again in the right hand. 3-2 on its way. High! And Subject draws a walk.
Great at bat by Alex Subject. She has not taken all that many walks on the season. That one's just her 27th, but a really good job to work the count, foul off where needed, and force Good to get to the outer edges.
So runners on the corners and 2 outs for Michigan here in the bottom of the first. This is where you could see the old double steal.
Michigan tried it last week in Bloomington. They were unsuccessful, although everybody was safe on the double steal.
First pitch to Uden is outside, and Subject goes straight down to second. No play at all from
Indifference
Roadcap.
there.
Yep. Runners on second and third. 2 outs in the inning. Can Uden come through with the big hit? 1-0, high. Good, struggling with the command now.
The 6th stolen base on the season for Subject, as Roadcap will come out to the circle.
Game time temperature 55 degrees. Winds southeast at 9 miles an hour. Feels like 53, but it'll get up into the 70s by this afternoon. By Michigan hoping that they won't have to play in that weather. You'd like it, but you also want to win this game and then take the rest of the day off and come back tomorrow.
Again, this is a sellout crowd of 2,490 on hand here at Alumni. A whole lot of maize and blue.
2-0 count on Maddie. The pitch also high, 3-0.
Should be a get-me-over pitch here for Good.
Waiting on deck is Mackenzie Nemitz. In a laborious inning now for Good. Uden will likely be taking all the way. That's a strike. Just got the outside edge.
The old Hutch rule, the only person I ever saw in the last 5 years to have the okay on 3-0 was Sierra Romero.
Blanco had it last year briefly.
For a moment.
Yeah, there were a couple of games where she did.
I don't know if she had the okay, but she did it.
Yeah, 3-1 fouled back by Uden, and now the count is full. That was another rise ball from Good. Might have been ball 4.
Yep. But it was close, so she's trying to do the same thing that Alex Subject did. Fight him off on the close edges and force a bad pitch outside.
Three-2 on its way. Uden hits that one to left. It is going to be fouled.
Oof.
Out just past the outstretched diving Gordon in left field.
Yeah, that would have been one of those web gem plays for Gordon, laying out in foul territory. Uden got an all right piece of that.
Yeah, pushed it the opposite way.
She needs to straighten it out a little bit more.
This will be pitch 27 of the inning for Megan Good.
Hutch and Bonnie throwing their support from the corners, as is Peters on third and Subject on second.
3-2 on its way. Uden swings, pops it up foul. Another rise ball.
Keeping it working. Now we're nearing a 30-pitch first inning for Megan Good.
Been in a full count for a while. This will be the third 3-2 pitch. On its way, and another foul back.
Doing an excellent job here. Uden refusing to go down. Has 34 strikeouts in her 142 at-bats this year.
Yeah, it's always been a little bit of an issue for her. Still not an extreme rate or anything, but it is something to notice. But she does draw her fair share of walks, too.
Yeah, she's about 1.5 to 1 on strikeouts to walks.
3-2, foul back.
She's just going to keep fighting here.
Yeah, this is going to be the 10th pitch of the at-bat upcoming by my count.
And that would be pitch number 30 coming up.
Yeah.
The James Madison outfield is shaded a couple steps deep towards the track. They know Uden has some power.
3-2 count. Runners on second and third, 2 outs in the inning. Uden takes ball 4.
A 10-pitch walk.
And now the bases are loaded. Back-to-back walks issued by Megan Good. And now we are going to get a meeting in the circle with the coaching staff.
They're chock full, Drain.
Here we go. It'll be Mackenzie Nemitz with a chance to convert. Lauren Laporte heading out there.
In her second season at the helm for the Dukes.
James Madison has been a perennially good team for about 10 years, but they've now done it across 3 different coaches, the last 2 being poached by other universities. And Laporte is the next man up.
They've built a little bit of a dynasty in Harrisonburg. And it'll all fall to Mac Nemitz here to keep the first inning going.
She had a good game yesterday and has been pretty darn good in clutch situations this year. First pitch to her is a called strike. Good, able to find the zone after 0-1. Nemitz swings and misses, or got a foul tip into the glove. And now quickly behind 0-2. Carol Hutchins giving some pointers to Nemitz, who's fallen behind in the count.
I'd watch for the rise ball here.
Yeah. 0-2 on its way, and there's the swing and a miss.
3 pitch strikeouts to start and end the inning. Canfield and Nemitz the bookends, and Michigan leaves them loaded.
Some good looks by the Wolverines there in that inning, but just not quite able to bring anything around. Have to like some of the swings you saw, though.
Oh, yeah. Those two battling at bats from Subject and Uden, really the highlights of that inning.
And now they'll send Megan Bobian back out there after a long bottom of the first inning.
All coverage on WCBN Student Softball Radio Network. As always, an invitation to chat with us on the YouTube live chat and also on Twitter at WCBN Sports. And a little bit of a history lesson here for you, Drain. James Madison was never elected by the state of Michigan. Was elected to the presidency in 1808. Michigan not a state until 1836, so you can confidently say Michigan never voted for James Madison. Oversaw probably the silliest war in American history, the War of 1812. Pretty useless. Warhawks in Congress decided that they wanted to annex portions of Canada and engage British forces who were busy fighting on continental Europe, and we still came to a military stalemate. Poor management from James Madison in that war. And that's on James Madison for the day. Did you learn something?
Yes.
Good. Not only are we sports broadcasters, we are also educational outlets. The outfield grandstand is now completely full with the alumni band back again in the upper left corner. A number of fans in standing room only seats over on the foul side walls.
Is it really a seat if it's a standing room only?
I don't know. They still count it.
Well, yes, it counts in the attendance, but is it a seat?
I mean,
you're not actually
it
sitting.
looks like a few people have lawn chairs over there, for what it's worth. Meanwhile, it looks like DePaul has arrived out on the third base side near the practice cages over there. They will take on St. Francis in the game after this one.
In the losers bracket.
That is an elimination game, and then the winner of that game will take on the loser of this game in the final game of the day, slated right now for, I believe, 4:30. That will probably look closer to 5 o'clock or 5:30.
So Logan Newton will lead off the inning and takes a strike from Pobie, and it'll be Newton, Jubis, and Roadcap 5, 6, 7 for the Dukes, who got in the top of the first. Oh, 1 on its way. That one just a little outside.
Newton on the season hitting .416, 45 RBIs, and 10 long balls.
Still in this powerful middle of the order. That one rises a little high. 2-1.
Looks like St. Francis is actually sitting up in the right field grandstand up in the corner, watching this one.
2-1 on its way. Swing and a soft tapper foul.
Not sure who that one clipped in the Michigan dugout off the side netting, but fell kind of harmlessly in there. Hit somebody in the back.
So 2-2 count. Pitch on its way to Newton. Got her! Strike 3 on the edge. That was a TV strikeout call right there.
A very delayed start to it, but revving up the lawnmower was Katrina Kershaw behind home plate. Strikeout number 2 on the game for Megan Beaubien, her first backwards K of the weekend. All 6 yesterday were swinging.
Up steps Sarah Jubis. And the changeup darts low and away. The James Madison fans in front of us don't really have any chants. They just chant the player name.
Jubis had a really long solo home run to left field yesterday in the 4th. That tied the game when DePaul was leading 1-0.
1-0 is a called strike. She did the same thing that Megan Good tried to do there. Back away from a strike.
Have that little half twist to try and sell the inside action of the pitch.
Jubis, a .428 hitter, second highest average on the team, and with 13 home runs to show. Foul tips it back, and now count is 1-2.
We saw Beaubien get the strikeout to end the first inning with the changeup outside. We know she loves to go to it. Sometimes tries to mix in a few fastballs and rise balls in between.
1-2 count on Jubis. Beaubien sets the pitch. Oh, the changeup almost got her, but laying off.
Low and outside. That was in the exact same spot that she got Odyssey Alexander to give an awkward check swing that was strike 3 down the first.
And it's a good pitch. It starts down the zone and then tails away. 2-2. Swing and a high fly into the foul territory. Is there room for Canfield? Yes, there is. Making the basket catch in foul ground.
Great track by Canfield. Had to make about a 40-yard run to come and get that one. 40 feet. 40 yards is
that's a little
long. Little long there. Still a sizable run.
So now 2 outs in the inning, and it brings up the catcher, Kirsten Roadcap. Roadcap, 7 homers, not quite the same power as the previous 5 hitters, but still potent bats as that pitch is outside. 270 average for Roadcap.
Yeah, and Roadcap also had a big double yesterday that scored 2 runs that put James Madison up 5-1 in the 5th inning of their game against DePaul.
1-0 on Roadcap on its way, swing and a miss, way out in front of that one.
Yep. Beaubien this first time through the lineup has mixed it up well, changing the speed and the eye levels and keeping these batters off stance. Has really honed it in well.
1-1 Roadcap pops it up, foul ground. There is room for Subjack. Now it moves back into fair territory and she makes the play. And a 1-2-3 inning for Megan Beaubien looks very sharp thus far.
And Kirsten is the Roadcap to end the inning. Beaubien continuing to roll. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Jeremy Parks and Alex Drain back here again for day 2 of the Ann Arbor Regional.
We've got some scores to update.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Ohio State an early 2-1 lead on Tennessee, who are the hosts in the Knoxville Regional. Florida State up 1-0 on USF in the top of the second in the Tallahassee Regional. No score between VT and Kentucky in the bottom of the second in the Lexington Regional. Those are the 4 games going on right now, all winners games. We got some more starting at 1 o'clock and then 2 p.m.
Yeah, Ohio State has done a good job to come back from getting their clocks cleaned in Bloomington last week. They were knocked out 10-1 by Wisconsin, but they've gone on to 2-hit North Carolina yesterday in a victory to get into the winner's bracket, and now up 2-1 on Tennessee to open the day.
Morgan Ray is such an odd pitcher. She has days
Either
where
so
she's
good,
unhittable and then days where she just gets destroyed.
Yep.
And Michigan saw that in Columbus. Michigan battered her in the first game, but then in the third game of that series.
Not sure if she's the one throwing in this game right now, though.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be Lauren
Rice. She did throw
Rice.
yesterday for the complete game, I believe.
You have to think Kelly Kovac Shanley would stick with the hot hand, but Lauren Rice is also a very strong pitcher. It is Morgan Ray.
Trying to get her ERA down below 2.
As we talked about yesterday, the most interesting development was the upset of Texas by Sam Houston State.
Yep, the only upset yesterday, really.
Yeah, which means Houston will play Sam Houston State in the winner's bracket. A win for Houston could put them one win from the Supers, in need of only a split with Texas in a potential matchup in the regional final.
Bottom of the order due up here in the second for Michigan. They put 6 to the plate in the first and left them loaded. It'll be Carson, Hoganrod, and Rodriguez. Hannah Carson had herself a game yesterday. Was 3 for 3 in getting on base.
Yeah, reached down an error is her only time it was not a hit. 289 average, 377 on base. She's been very strong and shown some good power with the double yesterday. 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run this year for Carson. That accounts for 6 of her 13 hits. First pitch to Carson is a strike. We'll see if Megan Good can get back to finding the zone with more consistency after that very long first inning, which she walked 2 hitters, used 33 pitches. 0-1 on its way to Carson. She lines that one right to first. Scooped up on one hop by Shiflett to the unassisted ground out.
Yep, just a soft grounder to start the inning. That will be a welcome out for Megan Good after the circus that was the bottom of the first inning that she luckily got out of unscathed.
So Haley Hoganrod steps in with 1 out. Hoganrod swings, and the first pitch is lined right to second. Nayoka's coming over and making a very nice grab to take a line drive single away from Hoganrod. 2 very quick outs, but some better swings, at least in terms of making contact this inning. First inning we saw some lengthy at-bats. Now we're seeing a little bit harder of contact. As Natalia Rodriguez digs in with 2 outs in the inning. She takes the first pitch for a called strike on the outside edge.
Megan Good with the opportunity to really balance out a lopsided inning with the first, with a very efficient one here in the second.
0-1. And Rodriguez lays that one down. This one's going to be tough. Throw down. Got her by a half step. Nice play there, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for James Madison.
Only 8 pitches in that inning for Megan Good, and Michigan goes down 1-2-3. We head to the top of the third. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Sun is starting to peek out just a little bit here at Alumni.
Yeah, warming up slightly. Omega Mobian will get 8-9-1 here, so we're not quite to the second time through, but when Michigan comes back up, it will be the second time through, and that's when we begin to see how the hitters change their approach against these very strong pitchers.
Again, the only time that these teams met this season was an early non-conference game back in one of the early season tournaments in which the game went scoreless through the first 8 innings, and then James Madison put up 3 in the 9th and held off Michigan, who just could not hit Megan Good in that game, as they took a 3-0 victory. And we've been saying all year about that game, Drain, that if Michigan could hit the ball at any point in that game, that's a win, because they had an equally dominant performance from Megan Bobian in the circle. And she's back out and dealing her warm-up pitches. Couple of empty seats in behind home plate, but by and large, we are at capacity now here.
Yeah, wind now picking up a little bit, even as it has generally gotten warmer with the sun starting to come out a bit more.
These Michigan fans, and to be fair, us, would be happy to get out of here with just the one game today.
Yeah.
Not really looking forward to the possibility of a 2-hour lunch break and then coming back for the evening game. So there's a huge benefit on the line for the winner here.
Megan Bobian getting ready to work against Cambry Arnold to start off the third. Cambry Arnold, the center field, is the only player in this lineup with no home runs. 1 double and 2 triples. That's it, having started all 55 games. Not a power hitter in the slightest.
Going to be a slapper here, I believe.
She shows bunt, takes it just a tad outside.
That cool breeze continuing to roll through here.
I don't like this.
Kind of putting a slight chill into the air. It's supposed to be a lot warmer tomorrow, but thunderstorms are in the forecast.
1-0 on its way, and she swings and slaps that one right to third. You can throw over in a great stretch. An extension by Alex Subject to haul it in.
Yeah, that one took a quick throw because also part of that natural slapping ability is that speed down the line for Cambry Arnold, and it took a quick transfer and a quick throw to get the out in time.
And that'll bring up Madison Nayokis.
Ward Manuel is here over in the bullpen on the first base side. And he is in the spotlight right now for all the reasons not regarding softball.
First pitch to Nayokis, down and away. Nayokis, the 9-hitter in this lineup, the junior, playing second base today with a very nice play there to rob a single from Haley Hogenrod back in the bottom of the second. 1-0 coming to Nayokis. Little inside, she bends away. It's been a theme for all these JMU hitters. Two-0 coming, fouled back. Whenever you start the inning against the 8-9-1, you want to get those first 2 quick outs. So then you can face the top of the order with 2 outs already in the bank. Two-one coming on Nayokis. The pitch just outside. That looked like a good one, but it's been a tight zone from Katrina Kershaw. 6 homers for Nayokis this season.
A low number, all things considered, for this team.
3-1 popped up, foul ground and moving into fair territory, and Hannah Carson is right there. That one maybe moves 2 feet in front of home plate. And quickly 2 outs in the inning. And that'll flip to the top for Hannah Feil, the only hitter to reach base the first time through the order. She reached on a 5-pitch walk. First pitch just a little low. Bobian's consistently tried to nibble on the outside edge. One 0 on its way. That one a little high.
Yep. Maybe a hair inside as well. James Madison appears to have 2 cheerleaders down in front of their section.
2-0 on its way. Swing and a miss. Went off the glove of Carson. James Madison 0 for 8 with a walk the first time through against Bobian. This is where we begin to see the second time around what changes in the hitter approach.
The only one not set down that first time through was Feil.
2-1 on its way, swinging a pop-up in the infield. Subject is under it, moves in a couple steps, and hauls it in. And that is another 1-2-3 inning. Megan Bobian has sat down 9 in a row, and really no hard contact whatsoever the first time through for James Madison. And we head to the bottom of the third, still scoreless between Michigan and James Madison. The Wolverines will have 1-2-3 coming on up. Trying to take the early lead. This is where they scored the first time against St. Francis yesterday.
You listen to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
James Madison comes from Harrisonburg, Virginia, which is in the Shenandoah region over by the Appalachian Mountains in western Virginia, pretty close to the border with West Virginia. It's a pretty isolated area, and they are not located in a county, fun fact. They are an independent city, of which there are lots of in the state of Virginia.
The Commonwealth.
Yes.
Down near Lee County, Virginia, where I once went to a Walmart and saw the local sheriff put his hand on his gun when he was told that they didn't have his brand of chew.
We got the grounds crew out raking the infield. James Madison's wearing white tops with purple pants and white socks. And they got purple sleeves on the white tops. Michigan in the all blue uniforms with the yellow maize block M right on the front.
We've gotten one dislike on the video since we've started. Not sure who could dislike us, man. If it was you, show yourself in the comments. It's very disappointing.
This is a...
that reminds me of when we did Ohio State, and there were some very young Buckeye fans in our comments calling us hot dog man.
I remember that, yeah.
That was, told us to go microwave ourselves because we were hot dogs. That was funny.
This is a pretty young James Madison team when you look at them. Their starting lineup, only one senior, and that happens to be Megan Good. I would think this is a team that will be in contention to host a regional next year. Even though they do lose such a star player, Canfield takes that pitch up high as we get started in the bottom of the third. She struck out on 3 pitches her first time up. We'll see if she's a little more patient this time around.
Well, as you said, too,
1-0 swung on and chopped off herself, I believe, but then they say it was a fair ball right to the pitcher Good, who flips over for an easy out.
You were saying that James Madison should be good for years to come, and I think they've proven that over the last decade or so of sustained success.
This is their 7th straight year in the NCAA tournament. Only one super regional appearance, though, over that span. First pitch is a strike to Peters. That was the year where they were the national 7 seed, hosted LSU in a super regional, won game 1, and then choked in games 2 and 3. 0-1 to Peters is high, and I believe if they had won that game, they would have played Michigan in the Women's College World Series, as the Wolverines were the 2 seed that year.
Yep.
One on its way. Peters swings and slaps it right to third base. Very similar play to that Uden put out.
Yep.
In
that
the
one
top
with
half.
A bit more comfortable of a throw than the Arnold out.
Michigan making more consistent contact these last 2 innings, but yet to barrel it up meaningfully. Blair stands in there with nobody out. Nobody on and 2 outs in the third. She takes that one inside. One 0 on Blair. Strike on the inside edge.
Had the ground out to second in her first at-bat. That was the fielder's choice that moved Peters up to third. Eventually getting Subject and Uden on board with walks as well before they left him loaded.
Pitch high, and now the count is 2-1. Decent hitter's count for Blair. She grounded out to second her first time up. 2-1. Strike on the inside edge. Good right back to that same spot, 2-2.
The cheerleader is up for the James Madison section, getting all of them on their feet.
2-2 on its way, and she swings and taps it foul down the first base side. Blair just the 5 strikeouts this season. We'll look to put the ball in play.
And a quick word from Roadcap, who steps out to talk to Good in the circle. This has got to be a 1 or 2 pitch combination that they're talking about here, Drain.
Yeah, it wasn't a long talk as Katrina Kershaw came right out.
Just deciding where to put it.
The Let's Go Dukes chant's going on right in front of us. 2-2 on its way. Blair fouls it back. This next one will be pitch 50 for Megan Good, who had a very long first inning but has gotten much quicker second and third frames. And that one fouled away again. Blair climbed the ladder.
And again, another extended at bat for these Michigan hitters. After 2 quick outs to start the inning, Good is in a little bit of a battle here with Lexi.
Two on its way, and Blair pokes it, foul ground, and it will go off the netting. And she'll do it again. Check swing there, just tapping it opposite way down the third base side.
Off of the ESPN banner over on the third base foul side.
Two count on Blair. Swing and a miss on the rise ball.
Yep.
And the rare Lexi Blair strikeout to end the inning. Megan Good going back to that rise ball, and we are through 3 scoreless in a battle.
That's just Lexi's 6th strikeout of the season for someone who has started every game for the Wolverines.
And a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings back to back.
We head to
Megan Good.
Head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, so far this game is shaping up a lot like the first meeting, a question of which pitcher is going to crack first. Good has been in the more stressful situation than Beaubien thus far, but it's been some pretty good pitching from 2 very good pitchers, which is what you would expect in this kind of a game. Ohio State still leads Tennessee 2-1.
No coaching candidates with Ward Manuel in the bullpen, although the report yesterday is that they're going to speak with Juwan Howard on Tuesday, so you could have a new Michigan men's basketball coach by the end of the week.
Yeah.
By the end of the week, you also could have Michigan in a super regional in Los Angeles if they're able to pull this out.
Yeah. Florida State up 2-0 now on USF. BT and Kentucky tied in the third at 0-0, much like this one. Yeah, it's been a theme across college softball in recent years that very few teams that don't host regionals emerge from the regional round, but these are still some very good teams being matched up in this first weekend of the tournament. And there's always a chance that somebody can pull that big upset. We could see it in the Austin Regional, as we mentioned already, a big upset yesterday. It's been since 2016, the last time a non-seeded team made the Super Regionals. Going back to that year, number 9 seed Kentucky did not make it to the Supers, nor did the 13 seed Tennessee. Texas, as we said, is the 9 seed, and they are in some real peril. So it'll be 2, 3, 4, really the teeth of the order for JMU. To face Megan Beaubien, they went a combined 0 for 3 their first time up. Kate Gordon had a soft fly to center her first time up. The Let's Go Kate chants from the JMU fans, and there's a called strike. Oh, 1 count. Gordon with 19 homers, the team leader in that category. 0-1 skips in.
That soft fly ball that Gordon had to Peters in center in her first at-bat is really the farthest out to the outfield that any of the James Madison hitters have got so far this game.
Gordon Jr. 1-1 coming, another changeup. Thought about swinging, but that one bounced in as well, 2-1. Junior utility player is the starter in left field today. From Shenandoah, Virginia, Page County. 2-1 swing and a fly ball. Shallow center field. Coming on is Peters and Hoganrod. And it's Haley who makes the play, banging into Peters for the first out of the inning.
Well, they got the out, but you got to call it off. Somebody's got to make that decision, and a lack of communication luckily doesn't result in an error for them, as they bumped right into each other to make that grab.
That'll bring up Megan Good, the pitcher. 0 for 1 in this game with a fly out to right. Off-speed changeup right down the middle. Throws good. And there's a called strike. Thought about swinging and held up.
Painted that fastball on the outside edge. Looked decently meaty for Good, but she sat back and now is down 0-2 fighting.
See what Beaubien goes to here for the strikeout. 0-2 pitch, change up, check swing, got her. And that's K number 3. Megan sits down Megan.
I think the check swing held up. I think they got him on the called strike.
They might have.
We'll see how that goes down. But
I put it down as a swinging, but
see what they come up with here in a second.
So 2 outs in the inning, and Odyssey Alexander sets up.
Swinging there as well, yep. It was close on the check swing, but again, the changeup freezing him.
That one a little low to Odyssey Alexander. We're being told that the dugout, James Madison is wearing rally caps.
Interesting move. None of their fans have caught that memo yet.
There's one a little inside, 2-0. Well, the fans are not in a position where they can actually see the dugout. They are off to the right side of the JMU dugout.
Got Alexander to strike out swinging on another one of those awkward changeup swings back in the first inning to end the first inning.
2-0 coming to Alexander, way high, 3-0, and Beaubien has quickly fallen behind. And Carson just standing up, telling Beaubien to settle down.
Alexander has taken 21 walks on the season, just 15 strikeouts.
3-0 on its way, a little low, and a 4-pitch walk from Beaubien. That's the second base runner of the game for the Dukes, and the second walk from Beaubien. And it'll bring up Logan Newton. So runner on first, 2 outs in the inning. James Madison still looking for their first hit. First pitch to Newton is a line drive to right, coming on Hoganrod, diving pitch! And Haley gets it done. Laying out in right field.
She has made handful after handful of excellent plays in right all season long. And there's another.
Yeah, that was really the first hard hit ball all day for James Madison that threatened in any way. And Hogan made the do or die diving play and came up with it.
Alexander's not the fastest runner, but if you make the dive and miss, she probably scores on that play.
Yeah, that was definitely but Haley was coming from an angle that was going to make it tough either way. So we head to the bottom of the fourth, still scoreless between Michigan and James Madison. Just one combined hit thus far. The Dukes have left 2, Michigan has left 3 thus far. And both these teams enter this game burning up. James Madison enters today on a 20-game winning streak. And Michigan enters this game on, I believe, a 15-game winning streak, or maybe it's up to 16 now.
Something's got to give.
32 of 33.
Good news, it was an accidental dislike. We're back in business, Drain. As the wave has broken out here at Alumni, making its way weakly down first base towards the outfield. They pick it back up.
So it'll be a 4-5-6, Subject, Uden, and Nemitz. As we get going in the bottom of the fourth. Megan Good at 52 pitches was 33 through 1, but then has gotten Michigan to be a little too aggressive offensively and has gotten some quick outs to restore her pitch count in order. There's always the threat for whoever loses this game, of course, to play again in 4 p.m. hour. Florida State now up 6-0 on USF, and Louisiana and Mississippi have gotten underway. VT and Kentucky still scoreless in the fourth. Ohio State still clinging to the 2-1 lead over Tennessee. So Subject digs in. Takes that one outside. She drew an excellent walk her first time up. It was a long battle, and she was able to get on base. Michigan would like to get the leadoff runner on for the first time today. 1-0 strike on the outside edge, 1-1. Michigan fans not big fans of that, and I think that one was questionable.
Yeah.
And it's been a pretty tight strike zone all day for that kind of call to be made. 1-1 swing and a miss by Subject. Good back to the rise ball there. Spinning it in the hand is good. 1-2 coming. Subject hits that one to short. Quick play across the diamond is made by Sarah Jubis for the first out.
The first play in the field that Jubis has had to make today.
Yeah. Every member of the infield now with a putout today. Uden gets ready to dig in. She drew a walk in the first. It was a 10-pitch epic battle as there's a strike on the outside edge. Good has been able to find the zone with more consistency these last few innings, getting ahead of hitters. Swing and a miss, way late on that swing.
Michigan has looked much more feeble at the plate since that first inning where they made some noise and got them loaded.
(0-2) off speed high. The James Madison fans.
They liked it.
Yeah, it didn't really seem
They like a lot of
close.
things.
1-2 on Uden. She swings and just taps it back.
Not sure where she got a piece of that because that looked like a pretty clear swing and miss through and through, but
It did. It made that little
the lightest
ping.
of touches, yep.
(1-2) on Uden. She had that really good at bat her first time up, and she's continuing to fight as she makes contact there.
Was out in front of that one. Still got a piece.
Count remains 1-2 on Uden. Pitch is on its way, swing and a miss. There's the rise ball, and that is strikeout number 4 for Good. And it'll bring up Nemitz. Good is now retired 9 in a row. Bobian has been on a roll as well. These two pitchers battling here. Michigan looking for just their second hit. There's a pitch high. James Madison still hitless through 4 innings.
Nemitz had the bases loaded opportunity in the first and struck out on 3 pitches.
That one high, 2-0. Nemitz now ahead in the count. This first time in a while that Good has fallen behind.
And it's going to bring Roadcap out to talk to her. Been a lot of visits in the circle for James Madison here in the first 4 innings.
There've been none that I can remember for Bobian.
Nope. She has been consistently cruising. Seems like James Madison goes with the method of just reining in Good as soon as things get away slightly.
There's a swing and a miss down in the zone, 2-1. Two and one, way outside. Good stop there by Roadcap, and now it's 3-1.
See how aggressive Nemitz gets here with a 3-1. If Good tries to tempt her over the plate.
3-1 on its way, swing and a miss. Nemitz swinging for the fences, but not lining that one up very well.
Not timing up Good very well. Has kind of relied on her to make some misses, so wouldn't be surprised if Good goes right back over the plate here.
3-2, swing and a miss. And
It's just
she
that.
strikes out another hitter. That's 3 of the last 4 batters down on strikes. And we head to the 5th. Still no score between James Madison and Michigan in the Ann Arbor Regional, a pitchers battle. These two teams, I guess, decided that they liked the way that first game went and are interested in replicating it right now.
Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. The American flag bellowing from infield to out, blowing those balls out over the fences if anybody's able to get a hold of one. And looking out towards Ray Fisher, where there's another high school baseball game going on today.
Well, Michigan hasn't really hit the ball hard at all.
Their only hit was a little bloopy, choppy thingy at home plate off the bat of Natalie Peters.
And James Madison has really only hit one ball hard. That was a diving play by Hoganrod. It wasn't really in the air. It was a line drive. Otherwise, they've had a couple soft flies to the outfield.
As Beaubien continues to work her warm-up, Laporte heads back over to her coach's box on the third base side.
6, 7, 8 in the top of the fifth. Jubis, Roadcap, and Arnold.
Wave over to the bleachers.
At 1:15 p.m., this game's speeding along. And that's how games go if there's not a lot of offense. Not a lot of long at-bats or long innings other than that bottom of the first.
Megan Good is at 62 pitches.
Beaubien's a little under that.
Yep.
Right around 50 if I remember correctly.
Just a second, but has been equally efficient. Didn't have the misfortune of a rough inning yet so far. As we're still waiting for the TV timeout to conclude here.
So it'll be Jubis, Roadcat, Arnold, 6, 7, 8. Jubis, one of the most dangerous hitters in this lineup. She lines it back up the middle, a base hit. That is the first Duke hit of the game. A very soft ground ball, but it found the hole right back up the middle. Canfield came over, but just was unable to snag it.
The first hit of the game, the third base runner of the game.
That was pitch 55 for Beaubien, and we'll see how Michigan monitors Jubis. She's very bad at stealing bases, 3 for 7 this year. So not much of a threat, you'd have to think. Kirsten Roadcap at the plate now. She shows bunt, lays it down right at subject. Throw down to second. Got her! Whoa!
That was close. It's a gutsy choice, but Calvin Walker, the second base umpire, right on top of it. And he goes up with the right arm, and that's going to draw a bit of discontent here from Laporte. And we'll come out to have a conversation with him. If anybody has the benefit of watching at home on the slow-mo replay, let us know how close that play looked.
It was definitely close. Tough to tell from our angle.
There are some very loud Dukes down in front of us here.
I think they might have gotten her. I don't know.
It was close.
Cambry Arnold now to the plate.
Very upset.
And then we have a pinch runner, Kelsey Brown, down there at first base. Arnold, another slap hitter. Wouldn't shock me if they try another bunt. So the slap hitter steps up and takes a strike on the outside edge, not showing bunt there. Arnold, first time up, slapped it right to third, where Uden had a very tough play across the diamond, but got her. 0-1. Shows bunt this time and takes it outside. Kelsey Brown at first base.
Has 9 stolen
9
bases
for
on
10.
the season, yep.
So you could see them test Carson's arm. One outside, Carson throw down, and not in time. A great jump there by Kelsey Brown to move herself into scoring position.
So make it 10 for 11.
And I think Carol Hutchins is mad about potentially leaving too early.
Leaving the base early.
I mean, she got a heck of a jump.
Yep.
So, you know, it wouldn't shock me if that were the case, but not much you can do now. And a little shaken up is Brown down there at second.
So a couple of close calls.
So James Madison gets a runner in scoring position for the first time today. And now Jen Brundage going to go out and talk to Beaubien. Long break in the action here.
Well, a couple of close plays here on the inning. The close put out at second. And a question about whether or not Brown might have left first base early on the stolen bag here to get the first runner in scoring position on the day for James Madison.
We've been texted a replay of the close call, and it was the correct call. And I mean by the tiniest of margins. Two-one the count on Cambry Arnold. We'll see if she shows bunt. She's going to take that pitch for a strike right down the middle. So 2-2 count. The pitch swing and a miss on the changeup for Megan Beaubien, and now 2 outs in the inning.
Well, that was an odd swing. It was almost like she got a little bit of a crow step into it.
Yeah.
As she kind of ran up and got off her feet a little before making the swing.
And now we might have a pinch hitter, perhaps. No, it is going to be Nyokas. It was just a conversation between Laporte and Nyokas. So 2 outs, runner on second.
Brown fast, but perhaps slightly hobbled over at second base.
Nyokas popped out to second and foul ground. Her first time up, takes the pitch a little low. Borderline call there that Beaubien didn't get. (1-0) on its way to Nyokas. Just a tad outside.
Nyokas has 30 RBIs on the season, 15 walks and 21 strikeouts.
First real stressful situation all day for Megan Beaubien. (2-0) on its way. That's a strike.
Yep.
Nyokas trying to sell it on a pitch right down the middle.
Always back with the fastball.
(2-1) coming. Swing and a ground ball to short. Quick play by Rodriguez, not in time. She waited way too long, and now they got her in a rundown. Throw over to third, not in time. Runners on the corners. Rodriguez double clutch.
Yep. It was still very, very close at first, but again, right on top of the plate, Tyler Barfus, who was the home plate umpire in last night's game against St. Francis,
And it's a costly mistake on an infield single. And now runners on the corners as it flips to the top for Hannah File.
Brown tried to catch him sleeping there and perhaps head for home, but was caught real quickly.
It seems like if Subject had thrown a little bit quicker, they might have had a play at third. So here's Hannah File at the plate. She takes a changeup a little high. Beaubien got the ground ball she needed to get out of the inning, but quick down the line was Nyokas, and you just can't hesitate on those plays. Needs to be one scoop and out of the glove into the throwing hand. 1-0 to File, swing and a foul back to the screen. With the runner on third, you have to be careful about wild pitches, and it tests the defense of Hannah Carson. File 0 for 1 today with a walk and a pop out to first.
This has been a pitcher's duel so far. One run for the Dukes could be massive in the long run.
1-1 on its way. Off speed, a little down. 2-1 on File. Beaubien went to the changeup trying to get that swing. Nyokas 4 for 5 this year on stolen bases. Not surprised to see a double steal at some point. Two-one coming. Swing and a miss. And Beaubien 1 strike away.
A lot of stomping feet here. Feel the thunder at Alumni.
A 2-2 count, 2 outs, runners on the corners. The pitch, a little high. Not chasing the rise ball was File. Three and 2 the count on Hannah File. Beaubien ball in the glove. The windup, the pitch. Swing and a miss! Megan Beaubien gets out of it. And the Alumni Field crowd roared.
Heard the thunder, felt the lightning.
And Michigan leaves 2 stranded, a pair of hits. 2 left, and we go to the bottom of the 5th, still scoreless between Michigan and James Madison. We'll see if the Wolverines can build on that momentum and translate it into offense.
How about that? What an inning. So now both Good and Beaubien have had scary innings here. The first for Good and the 5th for Beaubien, but Michigan's coming back up to the plate in the bottom half with a chance to break open a 0-0 game here. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
When we look at the scores around the country, Tennessee has now surged back to take a 4-2 lead over the Buckeyes. Kentucky 3-0 now over VT. FSU in the run rule territory up 8-0 over USF. Indiana and Ole Miss still tied at 0-0. In the winners bracket games, the Let's Go Blue chant sounding. If Michigan can scratch across to run at any point, they're only 6 outs away from a victory as we now play in the 5th.
But Megan Good has been a tough cookie to crack so far here in this game, as she continues to hurl in the circle.
She's had 3 straight 1-2-3 innings and has sat down 10 in a row.
The sun is now fully out here at Alumni. A much perkier day as we move to the middle of the game than we were when we started with full cloud cover. Alumni band sounding great as always. Drain with little claps here. Following along. You like the brass drain?
Yeah.
You're a brass fan? Did you play an instrument when you were younger?
Yeah, I played piano.
Piano?
Yep.
Lame. Brass is where it's at. I think my career goal, if I could do anything would be like a rusty New Orleans jazz trumpeter. Like one of those guys that sits out on Bourbon Street and does exactly what they're doing with the alumni band right now. Maybe saxophone? I don't know, but I feel like trumpet is more that thing. What do you think?
I don't know. I've never played brass instruments, so.
Which would you prefer to hear, trumpet or sax?
I think saxophone is a little better. Trumpet needs more help from the rest of the band.
Might be true. I was a trombone player.
Hannah Carson will lead off. Carson, Hoganrod, and Natalia Rodriguez, 7, 8, 9. In the bottom of the 5th, there's a strike. Good has been strong in finding the zone since the first inning. Got in a full count battle with Nemitz and a more rather lengthy at bat with Uden, but was able to strike both out. 0-1 coming to Carson outside.
She had the ground out to first unassisted back in the 2nd inning, and that was her only plate appearance so far today.
It was a decently hit ball right at first base. The first baseman, Shiflip, was playing in on that one. She's now quite back, perhaps compensating. And Carson fouls that one out of play. Lands in the last row of seating on the third base side bleachers.
Somebody had their glove, almost made the grab.
Quickly ahead, 1 and 2 is Megan Good. The pitch outside.
That was a close one. Again, that tight strike zone for Katrina Kershaw showing itself. Stingy on the outside.
2-2 count on the freshman catcher, filling in for Katie Alexander. 2-2 pitch. Oh, that hit her. And Michigan gets the leadoff base runner. You take it any way you can get it.
Yes, they will.
They had a couple hit by pitches yesterday, including one to load the bases.
That one came up and got Carson. It looked like maybe on the elbow pad or on the inside of her arm.
And we are going to have a pinch runner. It'll be Grace Schelleman. And that brings up Haley Hoganrod, who had the farthest hit ball of the day, deep in the hole in second, was going to drop in for a soft single, but was grabbed by a running Nyokis. Schelleman down there at first. And Hoganrod shows bunt, lays it down. Schelleman down there at second. Hoganrod will be out at first, but she gets it done. Runner on scoring position, 1 out in the inning.
Had a role to play there and did it well. Dropped the bunt down and able to advance Schelleman over to second.
And here's our pinch hitter, Lou Allen.
Might have thought for a second that it was JMU booing the small ball tactic, but it's the Michigan fans cheering for Lou.
Lou Allen was going to pinch hit for Rodriguez yesterday, but then ended up not getting a chance. But she's been on a tear recently. Had a very strong double off Amber Pfizer for an RBI in the Big Ten title game. She gets ready to dig in. Has always had great plate discipline. Michigan looks to get a ball in play. A single to the outfield could give Michigan the lead. She swings, hits that one soft into left. It's going to drop in. They have to hold Schelleman at third, though, as it was just a bloop single. Michigan runners on the corners and only 1 out for Faith Canfield.
Well, that was quick, but Lou Allen gets it done. And this is the loudest we've heard it get here yet, as Michigan now with runners at the corners and 1 out, and they will bring Natalia Rodriguez back in to run for Lou Allen.
Allen fired up as she heads to the dugout. And now runners on the corners, 1 out. A solid Faith Canfield hit could make this a Michigan lead. And now we're going to have a conversation with Laporte, the head coach, going out there to talk to Megan Good, as Michigan has gotten a hit by pitch, sack bunt, and then a soft single into left.
We saw Lou Allen come in last week in Bloomington in a pinch hit situation and hit a double out to left. comes in here in another pinch hit situation and gets a very much needed bloop single. Now 2 hits on the game for Michigan, 2 hits on the game for James Madison.
And Faith Canfield at the plate. No one you'd rather have in this situation. She did strike out swinging her first time up, but generally has been a very good contact hitter. And with the speed of Schelleman at third, anything into the outfield, she'll be tagging and going. Ooh, Canfield shows bunt, and now Rodriguez down to second on a fielder's indifference, but it's a strike taken by Canfield, showing the squeeze there.
Yep.
Not a bad idea.
They are now going to be privy to it, though, on the corners of the infield. Might be swinging away here, try and draw them in, and then put it up over their heads.
0-1. Canfield swings, hits that one right to third, and the throw over to first. Schelleman has to hold. So now runners on second and third and 2 outs. Canfield a little over aggressive there, but Natalie Peters will have a chance to get it done. I almost would have preferred the squeeze in that situation.
Yep. The fly ball would have done it, but instead right on the ground over to third, the quick check back on Schelleman, and then the throw over to first in plenty of time.
Well, if we're being honest, Michigan hasn't really hit anything in the air at all today. And Peters swings and pops that one up. The bloop single, really the only thing. Peters has the speed to beat out something in the infield if she can get some contact. A single right in front of home plate and a ground out to third. That one is a strike taken, and now it is 0-2.
Feels like we might be reaching somewhat of a critical mass here. Back-to-back tight innings for each side.
0-2 count. Peters doesn't strike out a ton, but we've seen Good strike out a pair of very great contact hitters for Michigan in Blair and Canfield in this game already.
Good's going to wave off the pitch she had ready and will call road cap out to the circle.
Again, a wild pitch. Could score a run. We saw that sort of circumstance in the first.
Michigan has left 3 runners on so far.
Both teams 2 hits, but no runs up to this point. Can Peters get it done? Runners will be going on contact. The 0-2, swinging a chopper right to third. Quick throw across the diamond, and that'll end the inning. Hannah File with a pair of 5-3 putouts. And the threat for Michigan, and we go to the 6th.
Again, Michigan gets a runner over to third base, but they cannot bring him home, and we head to the top of the 6th here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, for whatever the reason is, Michigan just has not been able to hit anything in the air. And that's odd because of how much Good's been going to the rise ball. You'd think it'd be producing a lot of pop-ups, but instead Michigan, you look at all the ground outs they've had, and a lot of them right to third has been the pattern.
Close but no cigar. As James Madison continues to hold on here. They troubled Beaubien in the last inning. They got runners to the corners, but they could not score.
And now it's 2-3-4, the teeth of the James Madison order.
Michigan has now left 5 runners on base in this game. James Madison 4.
That's how pitchers' duels go. You get the limited opportunities, and you need those big hits. They needed contact in the outfield from Canfield, and they didn't get it. But if you're Megan Beaubien, you want a really quick inning, navigate through the tough hitters, and then let your bats go back up there.
Yep, they are right back to that most powerful part of the lineup, Gordon Good Alexander.
19, 15, 14, the home run totals of these 3 hitters, 2, 3, 4. As the sun is out and it's warmed up. Meeting in the circle by the infielders, and now they get ready to attack the Dukes hitters in the top of the 6th. In some ways, sort of feels like the Illinois game in the Big Ten tournament.
A little bit.
Kate Gordon at the plate. She has a pair of flyouts today, and she gets fooled by the changeup, frozen there, and had to watch it sail down the middle. Count 0-1. She flew out to center and flew out to right. She swings and misses on that rise ball, now quickly behind 0-2. See if Beaubien can get a quick strikeout here. 0-2, check swing, top of the zone, did not go.
Nope. Close. Almost got her to bite.
Yeah, it's a good pitch, just didn't get the call. Low 1-2, swing and a miss. Woo! On a check swing, change up got her. And Beaubien collects strikeout number 6.
A fistful and 1. As they continue to add the Ks right in front of us here on the terrace. She had 6 in yesterday's performance through 5 innings. 6 more here.
Megan Good at the plate, a little inside. Good has a fly out to right and a strikeout swinging today. 0-2, 15 homers for her this season. 1-0, there's the off speed, but it's down, and Good takes it to a 2-0 count. Can't make any mistakes with the power of the JMU hitters. On its way, backs her out of there, and now 3-0. Beaubien had a 4-pitch walk back in the 4th to Odyssey Alexander. There's a strike. 3-1 the count. Swing and a line to right. It is going to drop for a base hit. Solid single down the right field line. Hogenrod scoops it up, and a 1-out base runner. Nice piece of hitting in the hitter's count for Megan Good, and now it'll bring up Alexander Odyssey, who is 0-for-1, a strikeout and a walk. Or Odyssey Alexander, rather.
Just the 3rd hit of the game for the Dukes, and only 2 for Michigan so far.
We now have a pinch runner, Sydney Lascola.
Lascola, 6 stolen bases and 9 attempts so far this year.
Odyssey Alexander, 14 home runs, takes the pitch low. And not quite the same speed that Kelsey Brown had.
That's going to bring Jennifer Brundage out here with a first pitch ball.
Yeah, Beaubien needs to find the zone. Can't fall behind the teeth of the order. If Michigan, if Beaubien can wiggle through this and Michigan scores a run, I mean, this is the last time she would have to face these hitters. That's what you want to happen. Get through this little part.
The cheerleaders in the front of the James Madison section are on their feet down there with their little Go Dukes sign. Nice save on your scorecard there.
Yeah, the wind decided to just rip through out of nowhere.
A 0-0 game. Nobody has budged yet.
1-0 to Alexander is a little inside. Beaubien dotting around the edges, but not finding the zone right now. He's going to need to. Two-0 to Odyssey Alexander. There's a strike.
And the quick turn back to the right side for Carson, who was looking down to second, wondering if Lascola might try it there.
2-1 on Odyssey. There's a strike, 2-2.
Yep. Two great comeback pitches here from Megan. Fastball, fastball, or so it looked.
Two and two the count on Odyssey Alexander. The off speed, got her right down the middle. Change up. Stood there like a house by the side of the road. And that is strikeout number 7 for Beaubien.
And she's got one for you for each day of the week. 2 of them if you're looking. Trying to strand yet another base runner here.
Runner on first, 2 outs now for Logan Newton. Off speed again for a called strike. Beaubien mixing those speeds so well right now as she's just crossed the 80 pitch threshold.
Yeah, it's a bit more rare to see her go to that off speed on the first pitch of the at-bat. And that froze up Newton.
0-1 coming. Newton takes it a little outside. Carson jumps up out of the crouch, watching Lascola at first. Haven't seen any signs of Lascola leaving yet. One. Off speed, called strike. Man, James Madison, no answer for the changeup
yeah,
right
just
now.
dropping them in there right now with ease. Trying to get him to maybe sit back on it here and then come back with the heat, kind of go opposite of the normal setup. See what she does with the 1-2.
Sets the pitch on its way just outside. Went for the edge, didn't quite get it.
Close look.
Two and two the count on the ever dangerous Logan Newton. Swing and a miss! And there's the strike 3. Beaubien strikes out the side.
Numero 8.
And we head to the bottom of the 6th in a scoreless game between Michigan and James Madison. What a battle this game is. 1 hit, 1 left, but no runs come across. Both teams have left 5. And can the Wolverines put themselves in front and then also put themselves 3 outs away from putting this to bed? It'll be the hitters to do it.
They're going to have the meat of the order coming up with Blair, Subject, and Uden here on WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. It has been a huge performance again for Megan Beaubien in the circle. Got bailed out really on the only close play by a diving grab by Hogenrod in right. And now the players out of the dugout to get the Go Blue chants going here around the stadium.
And the JMU fans are saying, "Go Dukes."
They sound very similar,
yes.
So it's not really a good counter chant. Kind of just blends in.
Megan Good back out there. She's at 80 pitches starting this bottom of the 6th. You forgot the H.
Ah. That's what you get when you type things quickly.
Beaubien spells her name, Megan, with an H, whereas Megan Good spells it with no H.
Two dominant performances. And again, like you said, sort of feeling a little reminiscent to that opening game in the tournament last week against Illinois, where Taylor Edwards was very good for the Illini through a full 7 innings and finally surrendered a solo walk-off home run in the 8th to Lexi Blair, who's about to step to the plate to open it up here.
According to ESPN, Beaubien was hitting 74 miles an hour on the gun on her fastball.
74 is quite fast.
Florida State 12-1 over USF, that one about over. Louisiana has jumped up to a 2-0 lead on the regional host Mississippi in the Oxford Regional. Tennessee still up 4-2 over Ohio State. Kentucky has stretched their lead to 5-0 over the Hokies. We approach the 2 p.m. hour when a bunch more games will kick off. Lexi Blair at the plate. She's 0 for 2 today with a ground out to second and a strikeout swinging. There's a strike on the outside edge.
Give her an inch, she'll take you a mile. Still got to be careful here despite the fact that she hasn't gotten anything off of Good so far yet today.
0-1 on the way. Lexi shows bunt, pulls it back, a called strike. Don't think she liked that call.
Nope. Might have been unsure if it was for the called strike or if she thought she might have held the bunt too long, but either way, quickly down in the count, 0-2.
0-2 gets a piece.
Yeah, Good struck Lexi out earlier in this game, and that was only Lexi's 6th strikeout of the entire season through 183 at-bats, has only fanned 6 times.
Oh, 2 count. Pitch off speed in the dirt and bouncing away from Roadcap. The 1-2 count.
Yeah, that one got up off the shin and back to the backstop, where they've got that NCAA softball championship banner hanging.
One, two coming high.
This is how Lexi likes to do it. A 2-strike count is hardly ever a put-away count on her.
2-2 count. Pitch, swinging a ground ball to third. Going to be a quick play across the diamond. Boy, has Hannah File been busy today.
Yep.
Michigan, everything has been on the ground and right at third base.
That is the 3rd batter in a row here that has gone 5-3.
The 4th of the day. Michigan just nothing on the screws. And unable to get under anything either. Subject 0 for 1 today as she digs in, but with the power to change the game as there's a pitch outside. She's been sitting at 9 home runs for a while. Wouldn't be a bad time to connect with one.
Good in 162 2/3 innings this year has only surrendered 15 home runs.
1-0, swinging a pop-up foul. Is it going to get out of play? Yes, it is. It'll drop into the JMU dugout.
It was close.
Tracking over there was Shiflett. 1-1 count. And now Hutch walks over to talk to Subject.
Sees something there that she wants to make a comment on. Subject had that incredible 10-pitch walk back in the first inning and then had a ground out over to short back in the fourth.
Subject steps in, 1-1 coming, way high. Wearing the one batting glove on and the one batting glove off. Always wears the glove on the left hand that grips the bottom of the bat. Two-one on its way, off speed, swinging a ground ball, base hit into right field. And Subject is down to first on a solid single. Michigan, their third hit of the game, and a one-out base runner.
Interestingly enough there, that ball was hit hard enough to right where it seemed like there may have even been a throw to come into first if Shiflett had stepped on the bag, but instead she just stepped off and allowed the base hit to come through.
So Subject down there at first. Not sure if we'll get a pinch runner. Doesn't look like it right now.
Just the third hit of the game for the Wolverines.
Uden gets ready to dig in. Maddie's 0 for 1 today with a walk and a strikeout swinging. Now bats with a runner on base for the second time today. She shows bunt and attempts it, but misses, and it's 0-1. Like to see her swing it here.
Yeah. Obviously, the small ball did get runners over to third. The method worked, I guess, in the last inning, but it's a tight game.
0-1 high.
We saw even the likes of Florida do this yesterday when they were still knotted up and being no hit by Boston. A team that has all the offense in the world still elected to play small ball in a 0-0 game.
1-1 count. Uden takes it high, 2-1. Good now. Command not quite as sharp. After pounding the zone there for a while. And Uden wants to talk to Hutch, and Katrina Kershaw is asking her what she's doing and sends her right back to the batter's box.
We saw that last week in Bloomington where a Northwestern hitter tried to call time. It wasn't given and then had a called strike.
2-1, Uden swings and pops it up in the infield. Under it is Jubis. She makes the play, 2 outs. At least it's in the air.
Yep. But a pop out to short nonetheless.
And we're going to have a pinch hitter for Mackenzie Nemitz. It's going to be Morgan Overitis,
who has been extremely effective in her limited plate appearances so far this season.
And Overitis has a lot of raw power in her bat. And Subject will be off on contact with 2 outs and a runner on first, so find a gap and things can get interesting. Nemitz had struck out twice in this game and not very great at bat, so they bring Overitis in to change of pace, and there's a pitch high. Hutch also talked about using Overitis in situations where lefty hitters have been more effective, and I think it is fair to say that lefties have been pretty solid today. And Subject going on down there, and the throw is cut off by Megan
Didn't even
Good.
let it go down to second, yep.
I don't think Good thought that that was a throw down.
Yeah.
I think she might have thought that was just a one back to her, because Subject was very late on that steal attempt, but Roadcap was definitely shooting for second, and then the throw was a rocket, and it just went right into the glove of Megan Good.
Yeah, you don't call that indifference, I guess. I mean, it's a stolen base either way, but
you don't see it very often. That'll be stolen base number 7 for Subject, and now again, a single could get it done.
And again, between the pitches, this is about the 7th visit to the circle that Roadcap has made to go out and talk to Good here in this game.
And a 2-0 count. Overitis will get something to hit, presumably. 2-0 coming, down in the zone, and now it's 3-0.
Overitis in her 14 or in her 47 at-bats, I should say, has drawn 6 walks.
Yeah, 375 on base. 3-0 is down, and Megan Good a 4-pitch walk to a pinch hitter. And now Michigan again, 2 runners on, 3rd time today. And out comes Laporte. It's going to be a full infield conversation. With 2 outs and 2 runners on, Hannah Carson will step to the plate. "98 pitches for Megan Good today. Michigan a single away from a potential lead, and that would put them 3 outs away from a win and an advancement on to tomorrow.
And again, Hannah Carson is in this game after Katie Alexander seemingly tweaked her right leg yesterday on an attempted throw down to second against St. Francis.
Subject stands at second, Overitis stands at first. Hannah Carson at the plate.
This could be the biggest opportunity of her young career here.
Carson 0 for 1 today with a hit by pitch her last time up. First pitch, Carson takes it for a called strike.
We talked about down in Tampa when she saw her first at-bat of her career, how she had never struck out her entire high school career.
She has 8 this season, though. It hasn't been quite as good in terms of contact this year.
Yeah.
0-1, way high, and it gets away. Runners will go down to second and third. And now it's a 1-1 count, and Michigan knocking on the door. Another wild pitch could make an interesting situation.
The 3rd time in this game that they have gotten a runner over to third base.
This crowd trying to will Hannah Carson into a big hit. As Megan Good's 100th pitch sailed on road cap. This will be 1-0-1 and a 1-1 count. The pitch, Carson swings and hits that one into the glove of the leaping shortstop Jubis. And that'll end the inning.
Rats. Looked like it had some promise there, but again, for the 3rd time this game, James Madison holds Michigan off on the last run down the base path.
Michigan gets their 3rd hit, and they will now leave 7 on base. The Dukes have left 5 on base. We head to the 7th, still scoreless.
You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. If this game is to make it to extras, it's only going to make the loser that much more of a disadvantage, as that will drive the start time for the final game of the day to an even later hour. Again, with the games on flex times to start tomorrow at either 12 or 2:30.
This has been a battle all game long between these two teams, and Megan Bobian will go back out there and try to get another quick inning.
Whoever loses this game could be playing after 8 o'clock tonight. Would then be a quick meal in bed before up early tomorrow. Bobian will try and shut the door and give Michigan a chance to walk it off. Otherwise, we've got free ball. Teams, no runs on 3 hits and no errors as we go to the top of the 7th.
And left on teams as well.
It's getting tight. This is what we live for, Drain. Welcome to the postseason.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a battle today. And it seems like at least these last 2 innings that Megan Good starting to show some cracks in the armor.
Just a little bit. Michigan's also come up pretty good in the 2 pinch hitting situations they've had so far. A single from Lou Allen and a 4-pitch walk for Overitis. How's that Tennessee score?
4-2 Vols.
Vols over Ohio State. So 3 unanswered runs then for Tennessee.
Jubis to the plate. 6-7-8 for the Dukes in the top of the 7th. Beaubien gets ready to work and starts her off with a strike on the outside edge. Beaubien enters the 7th inning with a very respectable pitch count that will likely leave her fresh, or reasonably so, for tomorrow if Michigan can pull this game out. 0-1 off speed, a little high. Jubis is 1 for 2 today with a foul out to second. 1-1, strike, right down Broadway.
Still packs a lot of power, 13 home runs, including one yesterday.
1-2. On its way. And tapped, just foul, the changeup. Got her leaning off balance, but managed to get a piece. Michigan's left 7 on. James Madison has left 5 on. Both teams have had some opportunities with runners in scoring position. James Madison's got 1 runner to second. Michigan's gotten a few to third 3 times. 1-2 coming high to Jubis. Two count on the sophomore shortstop, sporting a .429 average and 13 homers. The Sarah Jubis chance. 2-2 coming is way high, and now Beaubien's worked it into a 3-2 count. Beaubien was ahead 1-2, and now Jubis has battled back. Full count on its way. Swing and a fly ball to right. Straight at Hoganrod. Now she'll move in a couple steps and make an easy play.
A prolonged at bat with no damage done.
And that'll bring up Kirsten Roadcap. It'll be Roadcap and then Arnold. 7 and 8 coming up in the 7th inning. Off the Michigan ace left-hander. Roadcap takes a pitch a little high. Beaubien, 3 hits, 2 walks surrendered in 6 1/3 thus far, 8 strikeouts. Lowers the ERA to 1.89 on the season. .1-0 coming to Roadcap, and that one hit Carson.
Yep. Kind of an awkward, shallow swing there from Roadcap.
This next pitch will be number 100 for Megan Beaubien. She's gone as deep as 170 or 180 in a single day before, so she definitely has the ability to go as long as needed in extra innings, especially if she remains as sharp as she has been.
It's out towards the front of the batter's box.
Roadcap 7 homers this year, 9 doubles, no triples. 1-1, way high. Beaubien late release on the changeup.
Carson up out of the crouch to get it, and that's something that is a big difference between her and Katie Alexander behind the plate. Carson is not nearly as tall, but did a good job there to get up and get vertical.
2-1 count on Roadcap. Strike call, right at the knees. Beaubien sets, the 2-2 coming. Just outside, thought about it, but Roadcap wouldn't chase. And Beaubien's now in another full count in this top of the 7th. The 3-2, swing and a miss. And now 2 outs in the 7th.
And now 9 strikeouts on the game for Megan Beaubien.
2 outs in the inning, and that'll bring up the slapper, Cambry Arnold,
who has struck out and grounded out to third in this game.
And she bunts that one foul. Arnold, the junior center fielder, average now has dipped under 300 as a result of her 0-for-2 performance so far. Beaubien would love to get the quick out and the slapper and then get right back into the dugout and let the hitters go back up there. 0-1 on the way to Arnold. There's a called strike.
And now plenty of room for Megan Beaubien to work with. Trying to put down Arnold and get Michigan to the bottom of the 7th with a chance to walk it off.
The 0-2 high, 1-2. Went with the rise ball. Arnold wouldn't chase. One-two coming to Cambry Arnold, and a tapper to third. Uden's got to hurry. Throw across the diamond is in time.
You bet it is.
A 1-2-3 inning for Megan Beaubien. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Michigan needs just 1 run to end this game and walk it off. The Dukes, no hits, none left. We go bottom 7, no score. Between Michigan and James Madison in the winner's bracket of the Ann Arbor Regional.
You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. It is going to be the bottom due up for Michigan, and then back to 1. Hoganrod, Rodriguez, Canfield. A run will win it here in the bottom of the 7th. It has been a stalemate through and through. Still no runs on 3 hits and no errors for each team. Michigan has left 7 runners on base. They got 6 of those 7 into scoring position before stranding them. James Madison, 5 left on base. They've only gotten 1 runner into scoring position in the game.
Well, Michigan this season has had their fair share of walk-offs. They walked off here at home against Penn State on a Maddie Uden home run. They walked off here against Indiana on a dramatic Mackenzie Nemitz 2-run double to the gap. They walked off on a Lexi Blair solo homer against Illinois in the Big Ten tournament last week. They also had the dramatic come from behind against Illinois in a 9-8 win in Champaign. Megan Good goes back out there to pitch. She'll face 8-9-1 for the Wolverines. Hoganrod, Rodriguez, and Canfield have to think if Haley can reach, it's immediately going to be a sac bunt for Natalia to then flip to the top. So the objective for Hoganrod to get on base here. By the way, Louisiana still leading Mississippi 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
That's another
starting to get danger time.
Another one of those archetypal small schools that has been traditionally pretty good in the last 10 years or so, the Raging Cajuns.
Texas Tech out to an early 2-0 lead on LSU in the top of the first as that game has started up. Kentucky now 7-1 over VT. Hoganrod will get ready to dig in just a second. JMU fielders are retaking the field. First pitch to Hoganrod. She swings, hits that one right to short. Quick play across the diamond by Sarah Jubis. Well hit ball.
Yep.
Michigan is hitting so much on the ground today.
Looked like it could have had a chance to get to the hole, but well covered up there at short by Jubis.
That's the 9th ground out of the game for Michigan. In the 19 outs recorded. Up comes Rodriguez. She takes strike one. Good finding the zone here in the early going at the bottom of the 7th.
Lou Allen pinch hit for Rodriguez back in the 5th inning. Lou got a single and advanced to second on a stolen base after Rodriguez re-entered to pinch run.
0-1 on Rodriguez. She chops it foul. And quickly behind 0-2.
Big 2-strike count here for Good to get it back to the top of the order.
Rodriguez, the slapper, hits for contact. 0-2, she swings, chops that one to third. Fielded in foul ground, though. And they'll do it again.
It was a close play over at first if it had been fair.
That's been the pattern today, those ground balls to Hannah File. Right at third base. The opposite way for the lefties. And the pull field for the righties. Faith Canfield waits on deck. Oh, 2. Rodriguez swings and lines that one. Not caught by the left fielder who laid out for it, but it's going to drop in as she puts it over the head of the third baseman, File. That'll be a solid single. Valiant effort comes up short for Kate Gordon.
Well, Natalia is clearly not a big power hitter, and so the outfield was shaded in pretty tight on her, and they did have the play to be made over in left, but turns out that James Madison's outfield is not as good as Haley Hoganrod because she made that catch earlier, and they did not.
Nat Rod is 12 for 13 on the stolen bases this year. Have to think they could small ball it, send her down to second, and then immediately move a runner in scoring position when you have Canfield at the plate, who hasn't had much success today, but so dangerous offensively.
Wonder how aggressive they get with Natalia on base. Those 12 stolen bases in 13 attempts. Could try and move her into scoring position, and then a Canfield single would probably do it. But Faith can also poke it over the fence in her own regard.
She had one last night, 9 on the season, tied for second on the team. Just needs to find a gap. Pull it down the line. First pitch, bends her out of there, 1-0. It's the 4th hit for Michigan, 3 for James Madison. A run will win the game and send the Wolverines into Sunday.
Needing just one. High times here.
1-0, way high. Throw down to second. Safe! Bad jump for Rodriguez, but it wasn't a great throw by Kirsten Roadcap. And Rodriguez able to get in there.
Now the pitch was high and Natalia was gone. The throw out in front of the bag for a charging second base play and able to get that leg around the backside.
Faith Canfield in a 2-0 count. Hitters count. We'll see if she gets a pitch to swat here. And now time is called. Roadcap will go out there to talk. Yeah, this is a big moment. You know, you can't make a mistake in a 2-0 count to one of the more dangerous hitters in the whole Big Ten Conference.
It's just that Roadcap has gone out to the circle no less than 9 times in this game to go talk to Good. You would really hope that they have some better nonverbal communication than this, but it just kind of takes the heat out of the moment for a minute as well, a tactical play.
Runner on second, 1 out.
Give her something here.
2-0 count on Canfield.
Give her something here. Checks the wristband and twirls it in the right hand.
2-0 on its way outside, 3-0.
Looks like a good pitch.
Yeah, that was a good pitch.
That outside edge all game has been called both ways by Katrina Kershaw very tightly.
Canfield will likely be taking here on 3-0. And she takes the ball 4 inside. Not close for Megan Good. 4-pitch walk to Canfield. Runners on first and second. That was pitch 110 for the Dukes ace. And that brings up Peters. And unless there's a double play here, it guarantees Lexi Blair will get a shot if Peters can't get it done. First pitch to Nat is a strike at the bottom of the zone, 0-1.
Peters on the game so far. Oh, scorecard just blew away there right as I was about to give it to you. Had the infield single back in the first and then has gone ground outs to third in her last two.
0-1, swinging a high fly ball, shallow left field. Coming on and making the play is Gordon. So now here comes Lexi Blair, 0 for 3 today, but a chance to win it. Runners will be off on contact, and with the speed of Natalia Rodriguez, any single to the outfield could get it done. Lexi strikeout swinging on the game, as well as a pair of groundouts to second and third.
Can the freshman phenom do it again?
First pitch, called strike. Good comes back and finds the outer edge on pitch 113. 2 on, 2 outs for Michigan.
Wind is blowing out to left field. Would help carry anything that is hit in the air that way.
0-1 way high. Blair lays off the rise ball.
Twirling that ball in the right hand is Megan Good, and she'll check the wristband again.
1-1 on its way. High, 2-1. James Madison didn't like that one.
Nope, that one was up at the letter. That lone block M on the chest of these Michigan jerseys.
2-1 on Blair. On its way. Outside, 3-1. Alex Subject waiting on deck. Hitters count here for the Michigan's most dangerous bat.
Megan Good again towing the line. She's danced out of everything that has been sticky so far.
3-1 on its way, swinging a pop-up foul. And we go full. This next one will be pitch 118.
No lack of drama here in the bottom of the 7th. Fans to their feet for both sides.
Three-two, swing and a miss. Was swinging for the fences, and she waved right by it.
And again, Lexi Blair coming into this game had only struck out 5 times all season and has been put down twice via the K by Good. And again, dancing out of another tight inning.
Michigan has now left 9 runners on. I mean, the story is that Michigan leaving that many runners on isn't very surprising because they just haven't gotten many hits. They've drawn a lot of walks, but walks don't do you any good when you're trying to score unless you're in a bases-loaded situation. The combined 7 hits between these two teams, something's going to have to change. And to that point, the hits for both teams, nothing's been hard. No extra base hits. I mean, there's never really been close to scoring situations, really.
So we'll do it all again with the 8th now. And Megan Bobian will come back out to try and lock it up again to get it to another walk-off opportunity in the bottom of the 8th. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. We have turned into an absolutely picturesque afternoon here in Ann Arbor. Your temperature now is right around 65 degrees and sunny, beaming down from a crisp blue sky. Couldn't ask for a much better day, Drain.
No, it's been a good one.
As Beaubien throws the final warm-up pitch and the throw down to second, back to the circle for a couple words of encouragement is the infield. And now as soon as the TV timeout concludes, we are back to the action.
Beaubien gets 9-1-2. Nyokis, File, Gordon combined 1 for 7 today against Beaubien, swinging a foul back. Beaubien enters extra innings and 107 pitches. This is the second time Michigan's played James Madison this year, and this is the second time they have gone the distance and then some.
Jinx.
0-1 on Madison Nyokis. That one a little high. Nyokis today, single and a pop out to second, or to catcher rather. One count. Strike on the outside edge.
Lock him up. That's one of the few times we've seen that outside edge be a little friendly here this afternoon.
One-two on its way, swing and a foul back.
Nyokis does have one of the 3 James Madison hits. Single back in the 5th. Also had a pop out back to the catcher in the 3rd.
1-2 count on Nyokis. Beaubien winds up the pitch, change up right to third. Uden gloves it, throw across the diamond. And that is out number 1. Nice play.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Again, this all dirt infield, you get some tough bounces. It's dried out a lot here, and a good job by Uden to stay there, get the glove up, make the grab, the quick throw over. And again, combined between these teams, so many ground outs to third in this game.
So 1 out, flips to the top, Hannah File. Takes strike 1 right down the pipe. Hannah File waiting on the 0-1 delivery. The pitch, check swing at the top of the zone, but did not go. 1-1. These two teams combined off the two pitchers, 7 for 49 at the plate. Michigan's drawn 4 walks. The Dukes have drawn 2.
File opened up the game with one of those 2.
1-1 on its way to File. It's in the dirt, 2-1. Changeup slipped out of Beaubien's hand. Two-one on its way, swinging a foul back.
It wasn't until the 9th when they met before that James Madison broke through. They put up 3 runs in the top of the 9th when they saw Michigan earlier this year, and then held them off in the bottom.
The windup in the 2-2, swinging a pop-up shallow right coming on. Canfield makes the play. 2 outs.
That is the second time that Faith has had to make a lengthy run over from second into right field to make that grab. Tracked it well.
Now 2 outs for the Dukes, but they send Kate Gordon, their highest hitter by average, to the plate. She's got a pair of flyouts and a strikeout looking. swinging a foul back on the first pitch.
Gordon has gone flyouts to center and right and has struck out looking back in the 6th. One of 9 strikeouts on the game for Megan Bobian.
0-1 on Gordon. Swinging a ground ball to second. Routine play for Canfield. Flipped sidearm and another 1-2-3 inning for Megan Bobian. She has retired 8 straight. Keeps giving her hitters all the chances in the world. Can they get it done here in the bottom of the 8th? It's still scoreless in extra innings between the Wolverines and Dukes in the Ann Arbor Regional winners bracket matchup.
You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Jeremy Parks, Alex Drain. To the 8th we go. Bottom
around the country. Tennessee has now stretched their lead to 6-2 over Ohio State. Louisiana still up 2-0 on Ole Miss. Florida up 5-0 on Boise State in the first inning of that game. Texas Tech, the visiting team, has hung 4 on LSU in the top of the first. 2-2 Arizona State and Alabama in only the first inning there. And Louisville's grabbed an early 1-0 lead on the Wildcats of Northwestern in the Evanston Regional.
If I recall right, that Louisville did beat Northwestern 1 out of 2 down in Carolina when they were sharing the ACC Big Ten tournament in that quad with Michigan and North Carolina back in February. Michigan struggled against Louisville at that point in the season as well.
Michigan split with the Cardinals back then.
Dropped 1 of 2 and then dropped both to North Carolina.
Megan Good back out there for the Dukes, warming up. She's at 118 pitches through 7 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 4 walks. Has not kept traffic off the base paths, but hasn't given up anything really hard. All singles for Michigan. No extra base hits thus far. This capacity crowd all very anxious. They've been waiting to erupt. These last 3 consecutive innings, Michigan has had 2 runners aboard. There's been the signs that Good hasn't been quite as sharp, but the thing is, Michigan has still just never hit the ball hard at all today.
Well, she is up to 118 pitches in this game. Trying to see how many she threw in yesterday's 2 innings of work to back up Odyssey Alexander. She threw 31, so in less than 24 hours, she is up around 150 pitches thrown.
Alex Subject leads off, 4-5-6 for the Wolverines. Looking to make their mark in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch to Alex, high and outside. Good, the senior pitcher from Mount Sidney, Virginia. Top 10 finalist for Softball Player of the Year. And she swings, hits that one right to short. Nice pick at first. And that'll be an out, another ground out for the Wolverines.
Yep. Neither pitcher showing signs of anything significantly faltering.
This season, Good has gone into the 130s on 3 occasions. Her high for a game was against East Carolina, 157 in 7 innings. There's a strike to Uden. Uden had a walk-off homer earlier this year for Michigan here at Alumni Field. We'll see if she can do it here. Oh, 0-1 fouled back. Looking aggressive here at the plate.
Yep, you and I were here for that walk-off home run against Penn State a couple of weeks ago.
Uden stands in the batter's box, peers in at the pitcher Good. The 0-2 delivery fouled back. Uden's been the only one today to consistently get good at bat every time she's up. Even though she hasn't had a hit today, she does have a walk, but lengthy at bats every time.
That walk was another close to a 10-pitch at bat when she did it back-to-back with Alex Subject.
0-2. Outside.
Somewhere.
Yeah, that looked like a good pitch, but
yep.
Uden's eyesight has been real good today.
Some upset Dukes in front of us. Uden's still alive here in the 1-2.
One and 2 count. The pitch, swing and a miss. Michigan's had a lot of swings today where they look like they're swinging for the fence, and they just go right through it.
And another strikeout for Megan Good, as she now has 7 on the game.
And Overitis has come back up, staying in the game as for designated player.
And we have just hit the 2.5-hour mark in this game. First pitch was 12:05. It is now 2:35 here local time.
1-0 to Overitis, down and away. She drew a walk her first time up.
On 4 pitches that at bat.
This one 2-0. All it takes is one hitter to barrel one up. This is the first time in several innings since the 4th that Good has been able to get the first 2 hitters out.
Florida has jumped out to an early 3-0 lead over Boise State.
2-0 the count on Overitis. She digs back in there. Swinging a ground ball right to first, and tapping the bag is Shiflett in a 1-2-3 inning for Megan Good. Headed to the 9th. No runs on 3 hits for James Madison, no runs on 4 hits for Michigan. Megan Beaubien will head right back out there.
You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports, the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network.
Well, it's one of those things where these teams have seen each other, but in a lot of ways, they have not seen each other. This was the first time either team had seriously seen Beaubien or Megan Good, and neither team's hitters, despite their gaudy numbers nationally, nobody's been able to hit anything dangerously at any point today.
Beaubien has had back-to-back 1-2-3 innings in the 7th and 8th. And again, it was the 9th inning in the game that they played earlier this year where James Madison finally broke through. Against the Wolverines. That game was back on March the 7th. There was a Megan Good home run that scored 2 runs in the 9th, and then Jubas also had an RBI single that sustained James Madison through the bottom to a 3-0 victory. That was one of the lower points of the season for this Michigan team. They went to 500, 9-9 after that one. In that game, though, it was Odyssey Alexander who threw 8 innings, and it was only Megan Good coming in to close out in the 9th. So Good has proven that she is just as good as Odyssey Alexander. Can Beaubien shut him down again? She is up to 119 pitches.
Good at the plate. Top of the 9th inning.
First pitch misses low, ball 1.
Good Alexander Newton, 3-4-5. This is the teeth of the order in the 9th inning, but Beaubien hasn't had much trouble with them today. 1 hit surrendered to Good, and the pitcher takes a strike on the outside edge.
Wonder how much longer we will see Beaubien and Good. And deeper we get into this one.
1-1 coming. Good swings and misses, and now it's 1-2.
Good also dropped the bat there as she finished her swing. Had a single back in the 6th, otherwise a fly out to right and a strikeout.
And now Beaubien steps off. Carson goes out there to talk. One-two on its way. Bouncing ball right to first, snared by Subject, and an easy tap of the bag. 1 out. Up comes Odyssey Alexander.
Alexander on the game, strikeout, walk, strikeout. The second one looking.
She swings, pops that one up, foul ground, moving over is Subject, and she makes the play. 2 putouts for Alex, and 2 outs in the inning. Beaubien now has retired 10 in a row. It was this 9th inning that James Madison made their mark and put 3 on Michigan in Tempe. Not much going on for them offensively so far. We'll see if Logan Newton can change that. The number 5 hitter stands in. Takes the first pitch for a strike on the outside edge. Beaubien working quickly and efficiently. That was pitch 125.
And for Newton, strikeout looking, fly out to right and strikeout.
0-1 count. The 405 hitter, Logan Newton. Pitch a little high and outside.
Has 10 home runs on the season.
8 doubles, 1 triple, 10 long balls. Beaubien checks the wristband. Steps on the rubber first with the left, but the right foot a few inches behind in a pointed stance. Puts the ball in the glove, the windup and the pitch, change up, called, strike at the knees. 1-2.
Drop that one right at the lower boundary of the strike zone and getting the call from Katrina Kershaw.
Beaubien in a 1-2 count. 1 pitch away from setting the hitters right back up there. The windup and the pitch. Got her on the outside corner.
Make it double digits for Megan Beaubien. 10 strikeouts.
We are headed to the bottom of the 9th. Michigan and James Madison tied at 0. 11 straight for the Wolverines. And now, can the hitters do it? It's going to be 7, 8, 9, Carson, Hoganrod, Rodriguez. This game is a long one.
Yep.
It just never ends.
As I said, we eclipsed the 2.5-hour mark about 10 minutes ago, so we are coming close to 2 3/4 hours of game time, which again continues to play into the equation of whoever loses this game still has to play again this evening for a chance to make it to tomorrow, whereas the winner will get to go home and rest and will not have to be back here until either noon or 2:30. So there is a lot riding in terms of logistics on this game.
Megan Good headed back out there. We mentioned that she's been into the 130s before this season. But again, you'd expect some fatigue at some point. But Michigan just has never been on the same page as Good.
Again, through 30 pitches or so to close out their game yesterday against DePaul. And she is sitting at a very high number here today, coming into this inning with 128.
Looking at scores, Louisiana now 2 outs away from taking the first game from Ole Miss in the Oxford Regional winners bracket. TT still up 4-0 on LSU. Arizona State and Bama tied at 2. Tennessee up 8-2 on Ohio State, closing in on that win, which would put them 1 win away from the Supers. Hannah Carson standing outside the batter's box, taking her swings. 0 for 2 with a soft blooper to short and a ground out to first. Also a hit by pitch.
Hannah Carson up.
First pitch, she swings, lines that one into the gap. It's going to get down and roll to the wall. Carson headed into second with a leadoff double. And now you expect to see the sac bunt from Haley Hoganrod. Michigan's first extra base hit of the day from the freshman catcher from Mount Pleasant.
Big time stuff from Hannah Carson. Had come into the game yesterday off the bench in relief for an injured Katie Alexander, and she has made herself known at the plate.
Carson down there at second. She's been pinch run for before, and now the corners are drawn in for the fear of a sac bunt from Double H.
She already did it once in this game. Can she try and move her up again?
Haley shows bunt. It's going to drop in there and roll just foul, man. James Madison thought about picking it up, and it would have been a very bad idea because Hoganrod was down to first.
But that one
just rolls foul.
Just had enough spin to...
And it was not a very good bunt. It was popped up in the air.
Yeah, but the corner infielders weren't pinched in all that close, so it would have been a hard play to make on the ball. And back at it we go with the 0-1. The third base side is on their feet.
0-1, Haley shows bunt again. That one's a good one. Lays it down. Routine play to first is made by the first baseman, but down to third goes Carson. Michigan knocking on the door. And Natalia Rodriguez at the plate. Could this be the old squeeze?
I don't know.
Rodriguez is a great bunter and a speedy player. Carson not the fastest down from third as a catcher, but definitely has wheels. Does Carol Hutchins dare dial it up?
They are pinched in for the squeeze. Carson's got her sign at third.
Rodriguez swings and pops it up in the infield, and it'll be caught by the shortstop, Jubis.
One pitch and 1 out. 2 huge outs to get here after giving up the double. The sacrifice obviously surrendered by Michigan, but...
Yeah, I don't think I like that. I would have pinch hit Rodriguez, honestly.
Probably.
But
she had a single in her last at-bat, though, so it made sense.
So here's Canfield. Carson's got to be ready to run if there's a wild pitch, which there have been several today. Canfield at the plate. And now Roadcap will come out to talk.
And yet again, another situation where the crowd gets to their feet. They get some noise going here, and again, Roadcap kills that momentum. Up to the senior Faith Canfield. A single will win it. There is a lot of space in middle depth all around the outfield.
First pitch to Canfield high. Good grab by Roadcap.
Canfield was walked in her last at bat in the 7th. That was after the leadoff single for Rodriguez that got runners to first and second, or should I say the one-out single.
1-0 on its way, pitch high.
Good check swing there. Hesitated just for a second, but able to hold up on it.
Canfield, strikeout swinging, 2 groundouts, a walk. 2-0 count. This is a great hitter's count for a great hitter. She takes it for a called strike. Megan Good now into the 130s. That pitch was 135. Her career high, or this season high, is 157. 2-1 on Faith. Swings, hits that one high in the air to left. Back in front of the track, but not enough. And that'll end the inning. Michigan gets a double, but will leave their 10th runner on.
We head to the top of the 10th. You're listening to Michigan softball coverage here on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Again, that was a fly ball opportunity, something that Michigan has not had a lot of today, but they needed it with 1 out instead of 2.
I just don't like that decision to let Natalia Rodriguez hit there. You needed a sac fly, and that's not a fly ball hitter. If you're not squeezing it, it just doesn't make any sense to let her hit there.
We will see if Megan Beaubien comes back out here for the 10th inning. We're running out of squares on the scoreboard out in left field. It only goes up to 10 innings. After that, we've got to start doubling back up at the first.
This is Michigan's first 10-inning game since 2017, when they had multiple double-digit inning games that year, an 11-inning game to Wisconsin and a 10-inning game to Florida. They were not victorious in either of those instances.
A barn burner in Ann Arbor. Beaubien at 128 pitches, back to do work here again in the 10th.
It'll be Jubis, Roadcap, and Arnold, 6, 7, 8. Could be a comfortable inning.
You would hope so at the bottom of the order, but there are hitters all over this James Madison lineup. Again, they came into the tournament first in scoring, second in on-base percentage, second in slugging, second in batting average. So many different statistical categories in which they have excelled on offense over the course of the season. Can Beaubien hold them off again?
So Jubis steps up. First pitch bounces in, the changeup.
They're back to just chanting the name of Sarah Jubis. Are the Dukes contingent here on the third base side?
Top of the 10th, Jubis, a .426 hitter with 13 homers. 1-0 just off the plate outside, 2-0.
Beaubien has not really shown any signs of wearing. She has had 3 1-2-3 innings in a row.
.20 on its way right down the middle for a strike.
She's retired the last 11 in a row. The last hit was a Megan Good single, I should say, back in the 6th inning.
.21 on its way, swinging a bouncing ball right to second. Canfield Fields throws over to first, and an out is recorded. That's 12 straight.
Beaubien has looked equally as untouchable as good throughout this game, but has had less tense moments than good. Again, James Madison has only put one runner in scoring position in this game.
Road cap at the plate. First pitch right down the middle. Beaubien is showing no signs of wearing down right now as she's into the 130s of the pitch count. Oh, 1 on its way, swinging a foul back and quickly 0-2. Road cap popped out to first, fielder's choice to first, and a strikeout swinging in the 2nd, 5th, and 7th innings. We've said all game it's whichever pitcher's going to crack first. Beaubien hasn't shown it yet. 0-2 on its way, swing and just getting a piece.
It just feels like one of those games where it might just have to be a random solo home run.
Yeah.
Nobody can string anything together. Again, Michigan with the only extra base hit in the game that just came in the last half inning from Hannah Carson.
0-2 again. Check swing didn't go as the changeup dives outside.
Tried to freeze her again.
1-2 on the 7-hitter road cap. The pitch, check swing again on the changeup, and again just holding up. Beaubien wants that strikeout.
This would be about the time of the at-bat for Michigan where road cap would go out to the circle.
The 2-2, swing and a miss on that pitch down in the zone.
Hold up them 2 fingers. 11 strikeouts on the game.
And now
we're running out of space up here.
Yeah, 2 outs quickly in the inning. Cambry Arnold at the plate, the slap hitter. First pitch from Beaubien swung on and fouled back to the screen.
Do we have enough Ks to keep this thing going?
Cambry Arnold is 0 for 3 today with a pair of groundouts to third and a strikeout swinging. 0-1, just a tad outside. This next one will be 140.
At least everybody in the outfield and on the third base side is getting a really good tan here with this extended game.
The pitch, strike on the outside edge. Megan Beaubien is just carving it up right now.
And again, Arnold has kind of that half slide step on her forward slap movement in the box.
1-2 on Arnold, the windup and the pitch. Got her on the outside edge. What a delayed call there.
Do we have enough Ks to keep this going? We're running out of space. We're running out of K signs to hang up.
12 strikeouts for Megan Beaubien. That is 4 straight 1-2-3 innings and 14 in a row.
We're going to need to get some loose leaf paper and start to write big Ks on them. Beaubien just blisteringly good throughout this game. 10 innings of work. Can you ask for anything better?
Hard to ask for more than that. She has done everything she can to give her team a chance to win this game. They'll get a 4th straight opportunity to walk it off.
Michigan has gotten hits in the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 9th. They have failed to do anything with them. Meanwhile, James Madison has not gotten a hit since back in the 6th inning.
Megan Good back out there. Well, we've seen repeatedly these last couple innings, Michigan's getting more hits, getting more base runners. It'll be Natalie Peters leading off. Her job's to get on board for Blair and Subject. What a battle.
Yeah.
Well, Ohio State's chipped back to make it 8-4 Tennessee in the top of the 7th. Louisville still leading Northwestern 1-0. Texas Tech still up 4-0 on LSU. Bama has just chipped back 4-3 against Arizona State.
Meanwhile, St. Francis and DePaul are just sitting here waiting for their game to start. As we are getting close to 3 hours, we are 2 hours and 55 minutes into this game as we head to the bottom of the 10th.
Megan Good, 136 pitches entering this inning. This next one will tie her for the second most of the season as it's outside to Natalie Peters. And the James Madison fans are riled up.
Getting a little antsy here.
That one way high. Peters quickly in a 2-0 count.
This was about to be the 139th pitch of the game for Good.
And Peters hits that one into her own dugout, and it's 2-1.
She did that earlier today where she almost took out Subject, and she hit that one right at her ankles again.
So this now is the second most pitches, not just of this season for Good, but of her entire career in one game. Spins the ball in the right hand, 2-1 on its way. That one's down, and now Peters one ball away from getting on base.
Michigan got the leadoff on in the last inning with the double from Carson. And then Hoganrod sacrificed her over, but they couldn't get the fly ball they needed for the sac fly.
3-1, ball four. Michigan off runner on for the second straight inning.
Got to do something with it.
Got to think the steal sign is going to be quickly in order for Peters.
Well, she's going to need to get a better jump than Natalia Rodriguez did back in the 7th.
Peters is a little faster than Rodriguez in general.
The last stolen base that Michigan had was that stag steal in the 2nd.
Blair shows bunt, lays it down, it goes foul. Don't like that.
Yeah, Lexi being the great hitter that she is, again, playing small ball here.
Peters 14 for 15 this year on stolen bases. If you're going to bunt, wait till Peters steals second first.
2 groundouts, 2 strikeouts for Lexi in the game.
There's another called strike. No bunt shown that time.
Now it's all about swinging away. Put yourself in a weird hole.
She struck out twice today, which is incredibly odd for her. I believe that's the only time she struck out twice in a game this entire season. Trying not to make it 3. 0-2 on its way, swings and hits that one to center. Back to the track, but not enough on that one. A long, long fly ball from Blair and 1 out in the inning.
Put a charge into it. That's really the first time that Michigan has hit the ball that hard in this game that they've gotten it out towards the warning track, and they finally got something up off the dirt.
I have to think they might send Peters at some point in this inning. Subject now to the plate.
Good has surrendered 5 walks.
Swinging a high pop-up foul. bounces all the way down the rows of the bleachers.
Michigan has left 10 runners on base in this game. James Madison 5. JMU's only gotten 1 runner into scoring position.
0-1 on subject. Peters swinging a fly ball into shallow right center. Coming on is the center fielder Arnold. She makes the play, 2 outs. Michigan now hitting the ball in the air, but not when they needed it. And that'll bring up Uden.
Good trying to close him out here again in the bottom.
Now at 146 on the pitch count.
Can Uden get it done?
Michigan seems like they're making better contact this inning. Uden takes that one high. Throw down to second. Not in time. It goes away. Peters on down to third. And there's going to be no play.
Great heads-up running by Natalie Peters. That ball came in as she was sliding into second. It squirted away off of the bounce. And she was immediately up and wheeling over to third. How about it? Now a pass ball again comes into play.
Or just the old-fashioned single. Overitis on deck. 1-0 to Uden. Inside, 2-0. Good hitters count now for Maddie.
Michigan has now gotten runners over to third 5 times in this game. They have failed on the previous 4 attempts.
Bottom of the 10th inning. Runner on third, 2 outs. Pitch high, 3-0.
Walking Uden would bring up the interesting decision of what to do with the Overitis situation waiting on deck.
.30 on Uden. This will be pitch 150 from Good. Way high. Ball 4. Runners on the corners. And now Overitis, the freshman, a chance to play the hero, as Good's command has been wavering here in this inning. Overitis taking some practice swings as she gets ready to dig in. A walk and a ground out right to third, and now out comes Laporte. There's a chance we could be nearing a hook for Megan Good as she approaches her career high, now up to 6 walks on the game. It's just a quick conversation. They're going to let Good face Overitis. Again, wild pitch could end it with the speed of Peters on third, ready to come on home.
Do we try the suicide squeeze?
Not with Overitis. I mean, I don't even know if she can bunt, really. It's the right base runner on third if you were going to try it. First pitch, Overitis is low, and down to second goes Uden. Doesn't matter, of course. All they need is the 1 run to tap home plate. The 1-0 way high, and a great save by Kirsten Roadcap. And Megan Good is at the end of her rope, it appears. That's 6 straight balls now.
And another meeting in the circle. Come on now.
Yeah, quickly out there.
Now Katrina Kershaw is taking a slow walk out here, and that's ridiculous for how many meetings they have had.
2-0 count. Overitis at the plate.
It is loud.
Good winds up the 2-0 strike on the outside edge. She's able to come back and find the zone with that one.
2 more runners into scoring position again here for Michigan.
This game is an epic for the ages. The 2-1 to Overitis, way high and tight, 3-1.
Walking Overitis would bring back up Hannah Carson, who had a double to lead off the last inning. Preferably avoided.
That one popped up foul, 3-2.
Just can't time them up quite right. Good has 7 strikeouts on the game. Getting back to a full count will also bring the JMU fans to their feet.
(3-2), bouncing ball right back to the circle, and a flip over to first ends the inning. Overitis got contact, but not enough, and we go to the 11th.
Boy, that one was a tougher play than it looked to, because it had a little extra bounce in it as it got back up into the glove of Good, and if she didn't get it, that was going to be a close play with a charging second baseman coming on.
So we head into the 11th.
But again, they squeeze out.
You have to think that's the last inning for Megan Good. Tying her career high at 157 pitches, and with the issues with command there.
Well, the other thing that it brings up, too, is that if James Madison goes on to lose this game, that there will be really nobody that strong to replace Odyssey Alexander if she winds up in trouble in the evening game. At least for Michigan, you know that you've got Alex Storako there, who has not really pitched all that much. Alexander threw 5 full innings yesterday with 80-some-odd pitches. So they're starting to get stretched a little thin.
This game is past the 3-hour mark.
3 hours and 5 minutes as we sit.
Megan Bobian back out there. She has just been on an absolute roll, while her compatriot Good has wavered.
Megan Bobian has not given up a hit since the 6th as she comes in to do work in the 11th. We are officially out of room on the scoreboard, so everything just sliding one over to the left now.
Yep.
We only have 2 more innings left on our scorecards here.
Michigan has left 12 runners on. But again, it's just the fact of that they've gotten so many walks, but not really many hits.
James Madison has left 5 on, 3 hits. Michigan also had a hit by pitch earlier in the game. Could really go for some lunch, too. Didn't really plan on this going this long.
This game is just
a little hungry. Could go for a hot dog at some point here.
So Nyokis will lead off. Nyokis, File, and Gordon. Nyokis bends out from that first one.
Nyokis has gone pop out to the catcher, single, and ground out over to third in the 3rd, 5th, and 8th.
The 1-0, swinging a fly ball to right. Hoganrod backing up, and it drops foul. We couldn't see that.
We lost that. There's just to our right the extended seats of the suite, and that one was a close play down the first base foul line. Hoganrod gave chase, but
1-1 count.
That's the first time we've seen James Madison get the ball out that far.
Yeah. Wrong direction, though. 1-1. Bounces in. Bobian went to the changeup, and it rolled on her a little bit. 2-1 count. Two-one on its way. That hit her.
Took her elbow pad right off.
Yeah. Beaubien just lost the command right there.
And James Madison will have their first base runner since the 6th inning. Getting Nyokis off with a leadoff hit by pitch.
And it puts a runner on as it flips to the top of the lineup. Wouldn't shock me to see the sac bunt with Hannah File.
Oh, yeah.
The Beaubien hit by pitch issue has been problematic at times this year. Hasn't had a lot of issues with it in a while, but it features there, and Uden and subject drawn in. Here it is, the bunt. It's popped up in the air. Throw back to first. Safe.
Ooh, so close to doubling that up.
Caught in the air by Uden.
Bad bunt, very bad bunt. And it almost spelled a double play ball.
So 1 out and a runner on first. That's pitch 147 for Beaubien.
Just a P5 in the end.
Kate Gordon with her 19 home runs steps to the plate. Swinging a pop-up, foul ground. Uden has room. She'll make the grab. And 2 quick outs to Uden on the first pitches. And suddenly the James Madison rally is down to their last out in the inning. But it'll be up to the pitcher, Megan Good, who has one of the 3 JMU hits today.
They have not had base runners really in the latter half of this game.
First pitch, just a tad inside. Michigan 5 for 33 at the plate. James Madison 3 for 35. Yeah.
A lot of at-bats. An 0.86 team percentage for James Madison.
That one lined into right field, a base hit. And Hoganrod picks it up quickly, fires it in. And a solid single for Megan Good. That's her second hit today, and now a runner in scoring position for the first time in a while. With 2 outs in the inning, and it's Odyssey Alexander at the plate.
A very dangerous Odyssey Alexander.
0 for 3 today as Alexander.
For the season, a .350 hitter with 14 home runs, 56 RBIs, and that's going to bring Jennifer Brundage out here. Again, James Madison in this game had only gotten 1 runner into scoring position, and that was when Brown came in to pinch run for Roadcap back in the 5th inning. And they haven't had a base runner period prior to this since the 6th inning, and now they've got runners on first and second. The wind has all but died. The warmth has come back into the air here.
Two on and 2 out when the huddle breaks. Odyssey Alexander at the plate, 0 for 3 today with a walk. First pitch, ground ball right to Uden. Tap the bag, and the inning is over.
The ground out to Uden, unassisted. Uden has been a busy girl over at the hot corner in this game, and despite putting 2 on, James Madison cannot scratch across a run.
We go to
Megan Beaubien holds again.
To the bottom of the 11th in a marathon affair at Alumni Field. A game that never ends.
The rare G5 unassisted.
Technically, it's a fielder's choice.
However you want to do that.
So let's see who comes on out of the dugout for the Dukes. It'll be 7-8-9 for Michigan. And now the Blues Brother routine comes back a second time.
Running out of material here.
Yeah. Megan Good is back out.
Boy. I don't know how much longer you can keep rolling with that arm until it becomes a noodle.
Yeah.
And again, whoever loses this game is going to be relying solely on their number 2 pitcher in the evening matchup.
Now the good news for both teams is that they both have some really solid number 2 options. Megan Good threw a combined 152 pitches in a game in an afternoon against Minnesota and Arizona. She threw a combined 141 in the day where she played Michigan. Came in the last inning of that game after Odyssey Alexander pitched most of the game. But this, in the 150s, is about to be uncharted waters. And Hannah Carson, the only player to really hit her hard, is back up to the plate, 1 for 3 today with a hit by pitch as well, 386 on base, and a lot of power in that bat.
Had the double to lead off the 9th, and Michigan couldn't bring her home, as has been the story with every runner to get on base in this game. 12 for Michigan, 7 for James Madison.
Swings and hits that one right to second. Good field and a quick play by Nyokis on a hard grounder. Carson's been very aggressive at the plate today, and that'll drop her to 1 for 4 with the HBP. And here's Hoganrod.
Has been great defensively over in right field today. Had an awesome diving grab earlier in this one that potentially saved a run.
Hoganrod swings and fouls it back. It's a pretty big looking swing there from Haley.
Yeah. She can get it out over the fence. She has 3 home runs on the season. Has 2 sacrifice bunts in this game in the 5th and in the 9th.
A line out to second as well. And then a ground out to short. Made contact every time. 0-1 way high and road cap. Yeah, she's been real good today.
Yeah, in terms of managing those really fast rise pitches that get up in the zone. Has only let 2 get by her, I think.
Yep. One hits Haley in the thigh.
Yep.
And Michigan will get a 1-out base runner.
She'll stay some baseball stitches or softball stitches on her leg tomorrow, but they will take the base runner.
Natalia Rodriguez now potentially to stand in, but Hoganrod is a little shaken up as she trotted down to first. Hutchins goes over there to talk to Bonnie Thole.
See if they maybe need to pinch run for her, but I think she's going to stay out on first base there. It's the second hit batter Michigan has had in this game.
And that brings up Natalia Rodriguez.
Hannah Carson was hit by a pitch back in the 5th inning.
Nat Rod coming up means that the infield is drawn in. She has singled today, 1 for 3. Also popped up to short when she was in a position to potentially win the game. She runs up and takes it for a strike. Across the 160 threshold is Megan Good.
As we get closer to a 3.5-hour softball game.
0-1, the count. The windup, shows bunt, pops it up, and it goes foul. Quickly 0-2.
Both teams have kind of struggled to keep their bunts on the dirt in this game.
Well, it's not easy to bunt against a pitcher like Good, who's rising it as much as she is.
Rodriguez did have that single in the 7th that was just a soft bloop into left field. Going to be swinging away here with 2 strikes.
The 0-2 down in the dirt.
Hutch sees something in that slap run-up that she's directing Rodriguez to change from over at third.
Hoganrod at first. The 1-2, way outside. Another great stop by Roadcap. And the count evens at 2 apiece. The never-ending softball game rolls along.
It's a long one.
2-2 the count. Rodriguez swings and hits that one to second. Gonna have to be a tough play. They flip for the fielder's choice and they get it. Nice job by Nyokas to turn around and heads up flip it to Jubis. And that brings up Faith Canfield. If there's anybody to end it, nobody better than Faith Canfield. Have to think now, having seen Good 5 times in this game, that somebody's just got to be sitting on a pitch. Yeah.
Canfield has 3 groundouts, a walk, and a strikeout.
And now Good steps off. She's at 165 in the pitch count.
She is grounded back to the circle, over to third. And actually, I'm sorry, the last was a fly out to left.
Yep. And now we're going to have a conversation in the circle.
This time, instead of just Roadcap coming out, they will also bring out,
I think, the pitching coach.
Coaching staff, yep.
That's a different person than we've seen today.
That will be broken up here by Katrina Kershaw.
Donnie Thole and Carol Hutchins both chatting to Faith Canfield in that little break.
Does she have something in that bat that could end this game? Bottom of the 11th. Runner on and 2 out.
First pitch, strike on the outside edge.
Herculean efforts from the Megans, Megan Good and Megan Bobian.
That pitch outside. Checking the wristband is good. The pitch, Canfield lines it, and Bonnie Thole has to jump out of the way down there at first.
And does so acrobatically, picks up a little dirt on her backside in the process.
A 1-2 count. Canfield with her back against the wall. Pitch 170 for Good on the way. 1-2, and it gets away from Roadcat on a high rise ball. Down to second is Natalia Rodriguez, and now we're in a single could win it situation.
For the 8th time, I believe, in this game.
A gazillion times.
Please. Please, Faith.
On the first and third base sides, the 2-2, Canfield fouls it off, man. She is
late
lining
swing.
him up, but just
late.
a little late.
Yep.
She's made better contact in this at-bat than she really has all day. You feel like if she can just time one up.
3 hours and 25 minutes so far.
An absolute epic.
Can number 25 end it?
The 2-2, swing and a high pop-up. Shallow left field, didn't time that one up correctly, and it's into the glove of Sarah Jubis to end the inning. Canfield drops to 0 for 5. And we go to the 12th.
All tied up at 0. You're listening to WCBN Sports coverage of Michigan softball on the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. Jeremy Parks, Alex Drain. Same story. Michigan putting runners on, Michigan leaving runners on. Another one in scoring position that inning. stays stranded at second. That's the 13th runner that Michigan has left on base in this game.
Megan Bobian exiting the dugout.
Yeah, she's fine. She's just at 151.
Nothing.
She's chilling.
Her career high in one day is in the 170 range.
No matter the outcome of this game, I will be very excited to see the sheer amount of ice that is taped onto her shoulder after this game. Same goes for Good. Neither of them should be pitching again for days. But you know they're going to be called upon again probably tomorrow. At least one of them will be. If these teams are able to advance. Again, the loser will play the winner of DePaul and St. Francis later on this afternoon. That start time is going to be closer to like 7 o'clock, depending on the end time of this game. And then whoever wins will face the winner of this game tomorrow. For whoever comes out of the loser's side, it will be an elimination game, and they will need to win 2. The winner will only need to win once tomorrow. Those flex times as of right now are at noon and 2:30.
Yes.
For potential first game, which would leave the follow-up at either 2:30 or 4:30, roughly. If Michigan is unable to pull this out, Drain, we are going to have ourselves a long day here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
And once more, the infield will depart Megan Bobian's company in the circle, and we will go to business in the 12th.
Newton, Jubas, and Roadcap.
This is the longest Michigan softball game that I have done in 5 years. I think my previous long was only 10 against Minnesota in the Big Ten Tournament Championship back in 2016.
I'm scrolling back in time to see when the last 12-inning game was for Michigan. Swinging a ground ball deep in the hole to short. Rodriguez, tough play, not in time.
Infield single for Newton. It pulled Subject off the bag. Would have been a late throw probably anyways.
And a leadoff runner for the Dukes. Sarah Jubas to come up. And we're going to have a pinch runner down there for Newton. It's going to be number 26, Michelle Sullivan.
So for the second inning in a row, James Madison is able to get a runner on base. They stranded Good, who had a single in the 11th.
Jubas is in the position where you would expect to bunt, but she's not the hitter that normally bunts at a 423 average, but she's showing it and lays it down. This one's a tough one. Throw down. Got her at first.
That's a close play.
That is a very close play.
Laporte is furious over at third. Right on top of that one was Tyler Barfus. The James Madison fans don't know what to do with themselves.
And now it's going to be a conversation between the base coaches. Laporte's going to talk to the umpire. Just toss her out. No reason to hold the game up.
Apologies for any curse words that are being picked up by our Nat mic here.
The rowdy James Madison crowd.
They are quite upset.
Well, that brings up Roadcap. It'll be Roadcap and Arnold, not the big hitters.
Well, they still have a runner in scoring position now standing on second, and a single would be very troublesome.
Roadcap's 0 for 4 today. That pitch low in the dirt. We'll be now in the 150s. .1-0 on Kirsten Roadcap. Change up right down the middle.
Road cap, pop out, fielder's choice, and 2 swinging strikeouts.
Beaubien looking to get another strikeout victim. 1-1 count. Road cap swings and clubs it fouled.
Pulled that one, and it was headed towards the line.
Out in front. One and two. Beaubien steps back on the rubber. 1-2 on its way. Skips in, good block by Carson.
Gets down in front.
Beaubien's trying to go to the changeup, and it's just not, doesn't have the same juice on it that it had earlier in the game. The 2-2 count. The pitch, swinging a high pop-up. Is there room for Carson?
Doesn't look like it.
Yes,
Ooh,
there is against the netting. Jinxed it.
Thought that was going to get up into the netting. Jinxed it in the right way.
Now 2 outs in the inning, and looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for the not powerful Cambry Arnold. It's going to be Victoria Figueroa. Fifth bench player used today by the Dukes. Victoria Figueroa is 9 for 20 this year. Very good in her pinch hitting opportunities. Solid power too. Swings and misses on the Beaubien change.
Again, still with Newton standing on second base. This is a major opportunity for the Dukes if they can get a single out of Figueroa here.
0-1 the count. Swing and a foul tip back, and Beaubien quickly ahead 0-2. 1 strike away from wiggling out of another crunch.
We just surpassed the 3.5 hour mark here. Again, first pitch was 12:05. It's now 3:36. Still going strong.
Count. Megan peers in at Carson. The 0-2 on its way. Swing and a foul back. The changeup.
Just got to it.
Yeah, Figueroa just got a piece. Staying alive.
Can Victoria Figueroa play hero here?
The 0-2 on its way. Oh, just got a piece of her bat.
On the check swing, yeah.
Rode in high and tight, and a half swing tapped it over towards her own dugout.
No better than a foul ball.
Runner on second, 2 outs.
Where does Beaubien go?
Oh, puts the ball in the glove. The windup, the 0-2, swinging another foul. Figueroa doing a good job to get the bat on the ball.
Beaubien still has not made a mistake in terms of giving her a ball in the count.
Well, this is a good game to lower the old ERA.
Yeah.
The amount of innings pitched. Puts the ball in. The 0-2. Swing and a ground ball to third. Uden grabs it, and no play. Getting down to first there. If she had gloved it on the hop, she could have just tagged the runner.
Yeah.
And instead it'll go down as an infield soft single.
Yep. And the first time today, actually no, I'm sorry, the second time today that James Madison has gotten a runner over to third. They had the pinch runner Brown get over there back in the fifth.
Runners on the corners and 2 outs in the inning, and it'll bring up a 9-hitter, Nayokis, and out comes Jen Brundage. Bobian at 164. Have to think this is the end of the rope for her. Can she muster one more out? She got the ball you need to get that out, but just wasn't fielded correctly.
First time that there has been some real serious threatening from James Madison on the base paths in a good while.
Well, last inning they had a couple people on.
Not over to third.
Sure.
Nayokis so far on the game had a single in the fifth, otherwise a pop out to the catch, a ground out to third, and she was hit by a pitch and got on in the 11th.
The James Madison fans trying to will their team. Nayokis takes a pitch low.
Just missed somewhere. Maybe a little low.
This is it for our score sheet.
Yep.
The last box. One and 0 on Nayokis, swings and pops it up in the infield. Faith is there, and Michigan gets out of it.
It's a scramble.
So 2 hits and 2 left for the Dukes. We go to the bottom of the 12th.
You're listening to Michigan softball coverage on WCBN Sports and the Michigan Student Softball Radio Network. As we are going bottom 12, Michigan and James Madison. Michigan, the 15th ranked national seed, hosting the Ann Arbor Regional, even though the end of the season, regular season rankings have James Madison at number 16 and Michigan at 19. It's the RPI that played a much bigger role in the seeding for the NCAA tournament. As Michigan will bring up to the plate here in the 12th, Peters, Blair, and Subject. And as Drain said, this is the upper limit of our scorecard ability. We've only got 12 innings in us. And stepping out to the circle again for James Madison, standing there with 171 pitches, is Megan Good. Both her and Megan Bobian are going to be using the entirety of the ice in the 1.5-mile vicinity of this stadium after the game is over. Both teams have had numerous opportunities where they have threatened. 5 hits for each side. An error for each side as well. Michigan has left 13 on base. James Madison has left 9 on base. Overall, James Madison 5 for 41 as a team. Michigan 5 for 36. As Natalie Peters is ready to dig in. And Good will have a quick meet with her infield and her catcher. The wind blowing steadily out to center field. Again, if Michigan can get a hold of any of these balls, the wind around 10 miles an hour to help pick it up. So here comes Natalie Peters stepping up to the plate. And the first pitch, high for ball 1. There was a scoring adjustment actually to Victoria Figueroa's, what was initially ruled an infield single in the last inning has been changed to an E5 on Madison Uden. The 1-0 misses low. Now 2-0 on Natalie Peters, who in this game had a single in the first that was a little chopper right in front of the plate, grounded out twice, flew out to left, and then had a walk in the 10th. That one is a hard shot. Fair ball down the line, down third base. Rounding first and heading for second. Struggling over in left field to get a hold on it is Gordon. And wheeling in with a stand-up double to lead off here in the bottom of the 12th is Natalie Peters. That one looked very close to being fouled down the third base line, but Nat Pete coming up in the clutch. As the Wolverines will lead off the inning with a runner in scoring position, bringing up Lexi Blair to the plate. Drain has returned. Drain, you're back.
Yeah.
I was better luck than you.
A leadoff double for Peters. This feels like the moment.
A note for your book that they changed Figueroa's infield single to an E5 in between the innings.
There's a strike to Blair.
Ripped shot right down the chalk.
Oh, 1, and Lexi dives out of the way. Great save by Kirsten Roadcap. So my investigation is complete. This is the first 12-plus inning game for Michigan softball since 2010.
That would explain it.
A 13-inning affair with UCLA back then. There's a pitch on the outside edge for a strike, 1-2.
Lexi is hitless on this game. It has dropped her average to 414. She has 2 strikeouts, 2 ground outs, and a fly out to center.
One-two swing and a miss on a pitch way outside.
And Good just has Lexi's number for some reason today. Again, 5 strikeouts all season coming in and 3 here this afternoon.
Lexi's just trying to do too much.
Not letting Good make mistakes.
And that's a situation where you'd rather just have the bunt.
And now Good has 8 strikeouts on the game, and that is a huge out to bring up subject.
That one inside.
Michigan really trying not to spoil another leadoff double. They did it when Hannah Carson led off with a double back in the 9th.
One-0 subject hits it to center. Back to the track. Peters will tag up. She's headed to third, and the throw in there is not in time. Natalie into third.
So the fly out to center will move up.
See, there you go. The sack bunt would have won the game.
Yep. And that'll put it in the hands of Madison Uden.
This game has gone on long enough. Can Uden finally put us out of our misery? Swings, hits that one. It is going to get down. Michigan wins! Maddie Uden, the walk-off in the gap. And the Wolverines win it 1-0 over the Dukes in 12 innings.
Extra innings revenge for Michigan. How many times did they get a runner over to third, and finally Madison Uden gets it done.
Take that, Dukes fans.
Get those purple folks out of here. Send them back. This by far the most classic softball game that I've been a part of in 5 years up here in the booth, Drain.
Just an epic. Michigan finally wins it on hit number 7.
Uden had been hitless the whole game up to that point. Had 2 walks in the first and 10th. And finally she gets to send Michigan home for the night. They are going to be the benefactors of not having to play until tomorrow. James Madison will be back here after the conclusion of St. Francis and DePaul, and they could be playing well past 8 o'clock tonight, and they will be called back for the game tomorrow. A valiant effort from Megan Good. She did everything she could for her James Madison Dukes, but just nothing doing in terms of offense, trying to scratch across a run. Megan Bobian, nothing short of sparkling through this game, Drain.
Just
Spotless.
incredible. Megan Bobian will read the final lines. Bobian, 12 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 12 strikeouts, hit 1 batter, and kept JMU off the board for as long as was needed. The visiting stats, Megan Good did all she could. 7 hits, 6 walks, 8 strikeouts, just a 1 run surrendered in 11 2/3 innings pitched.
And Michigan is flying into Sunday, only needing 1 win to advance to the Supers.
The Uden walk-off single does it, and Michigan wins. They stay undefeated at Alumni Field, 17-0 this year, and they just won a 2 tomorrow against likely JMU.
What a damn game.
And now St. Francis and the DePaul folks finally get their game. It only lasted about 3 hours and 40 minutes.
Yep. 3 hours and 40 minutes, your final time here. And we will be back tomorrow with a potential super clinching game here for Michigan.
Wolverines 1 win from a ticket to Los Angeles. Any last thoughts?
Paralyzing. How fantastic.
It went the distance, and Michigan, like so many times this year, finally got the clutch hit and the clutch moment. With that, what a day in Ann Arbor. We want to thank you for joining us on our coverage of Michigan softball on WCBN Sports. With that, from Jeremy Parks, Alex Strain, from Ann Arbor, final score, Michigan 1, James Madison 0. Good night, and go blue.
This game took 12 innings, by the way.